They can see and hear you. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Known Realms Tolesh. Before we dive into tonight's adventure, let's go ahead and introduce our
players. Starting with Angie.
Hi, everyone. As Alec recuperates, I'd like to say hello and welcome to Known Realms Tolesh. I'm Angie, they, them pronouns, and I will be playing Theo Marino, he, they pronouns. You can find me at Agonethetic on the internet. Are you okay?
I swallowed wrong.
Oh,
Alec, are you okay?
I've said that before.
Are you okay, Alec?
Angie, okay, thank you, Angie. Thank you so much. Next up, David.
Hey guys, I'm David. What else do I do? My pronouns are he, him, and I play Whistle, the Hobgoblin fighter. Also he, him pronouns. You can also catch me over at Stealthy Elf Productions as the game master of a couple of Pathfinder 2nd Edition games.
What else do I do?
had a moment there.
Who am I?
All right. Thank you, Button.
Hello, I am Button. My pronouns are they, them. I'm Bluebluebutton on social media. I play Echinacea Bellerose, whose pronouns are also they, them. They're the Aasimar wizard in this game. And when I'm not here, you can find me over on Stealthy Elf Productions in the Unearthed Inheritance campaign, where I play Cressida, the elven druid. Yeah. Who does not want to get sidetracked, but unfortunately has gotten sidetracked.
Has been sidetracked. They're raging and they're having some fun.
It's true.
They're going, Hi, everybody. My name is Alec. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me all places on the internet. I did a David.
Who are you?
You can find me all places on the internet at Tales Archives. I'm the Archivist here for Known Realms Tolesh. And when I'm not here, you can find me playing as Finn Reese over at Stealthy Elf Productions in Heroes of Asteria, Unearthed Inheritance. Jotun blood fighter, who's creating tools with which to quell his anxieties.
And crafting a relationship.
That seems to be going pretty well.
Yeah.
Seems to be going pretty well, all things. Hi, and guys, say hello to our special guest for the night, Mooney.
Mooney!
The neediest blue healer.
He loves his dad.
David was gone for 2 days, and Mooney thought his father was gone.
Gone for good.
Mooney was like, my father. Last time, we're gonna do a quick and dirty recap here. Last time, Echinacea communed with Landith, the sun god of the Alloyed Pantheon, feeling nerves, but those nerves were quickly banished as it became very clear to the party and Echinacea that Landith was not aware of Kervace's betrayal, and he is indeed loyal to the Alloyed Pantheon. Given that,
I'm not muted.
Angie messaged me earlier today and was like, it's like when I say damn on stream and it picks up. Damn. Yeah. Quickly figured out that Landith is indeed loyal to the Alloyed Pantheon, and the Echinacea struck a deal with Landith to continue to protect Aeotian life and help in the fights against the Eclipse of the Three and the traitorous Kervaith. We then had a scene, followed as Whistle touched base with Frankfurt and Lila Alcott. A lot of information was gleaned. It seems that the blood-tinged status that Nikolai is currently under the effects of is the negative influence of a Diventhyr icon by the name of the Blade Brother, a deity to wanton violence, destruction, death, and weapons as murderous tools. In order to restore Nikolai to his human form, first, Whistle will have to contend with 4 arms of the Blade Brother, entities sent to challenge Whistle in times of great joy, strife, comfort, and sadness. It is not known when they it's not known when they will come, but they will come, and they'll come hard. Whistle information was gleaned about Tarnakam, Lord Vendrick, and there were conflicting reports of the inception of the Divanthir, one being the that Kervaith, Thanos, and the Allhammer banded together and worked with Ios the dragon, the Star Dragon. Button's like a lunar dragon, got it. The Star Dragon, to create the Divanthir, while other stories say that it was Ios solely who created the Divanthir people. We then moved on to a very sad scene where Echinacea broke the news about Sir to what? Angie, your camera turned on.
Angie, no!
I love it, actually.
I am
so much.
Echinacea.
Why?
So
You're Zio again.
sorry.
You're
No,
Zio.
don't apologize.
I'm
You're fine, you're
Marino.
fine, you're fine. Don't
I
apologize.
can't do Zio.
I'm Zio Marino. Broke the news that Sir, to the party's knowledge, is no more, and gifted the bookmark intended for Sir to Lila before departing. And Whistle was gifted Sir's old trick weapon, the Grave Hand Spade. Zio, hi Zio. I'm just saying your name for some fucking reason. Sorry guys, my brain is everywhere. I apologize.
Okay.
F. Thank you, Tolly. Yeah, true. F in the chat for button. Fuck off. You can't do it. Okay. Zio sought out Aminae within the city and found themselves landing in Selene's Spire, the religious site in memoriam to Lucian's dearly departed mother. A rock Aminae representing remembrance and a tie to the material world, was tipped over by some rowdy wind Aminae and the big feelings of one Lucian Whittemore. So Zio was unfortunately therapized by a rock, but ultimately helped the little guy get up and maintain this little memorial to Selene Whittemore. Zio then sought out Lucian, where a plan was hatched to kidnap the good doctor and retrieve their cloak back. We had some silly goofs ensue where that happened. Aedwulf bit, Echinacea nearly fireballed. And the two, Echinacea and Lucian, vortex warped out of the city and landed into the fields outside of Isle Thalor, where the two had a very tender conversation about Lazuli's departure, not wanting to leave each other, and they ended making snow angels. We ended the session with a conversation between Zio and Whistle, where Whistle took it as an opportunity to really give it to Asandro. And we're going to see, he's like, I blame that motherfucker for the breakup. So we're going to see, we may see how that pans out. But we are picking up on yet another snowy morning. And Faded, how did you sleep last night?
Oh, hello, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
Shannon. I think Zio slept fine. I think maybe this would have been the day after Bold, and I mean after their conversation with Lila and everything.
Mhm.
So yeah, they're just waking up. They're feeling a lot lighter.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. Yeah. Zio, you're up moving around. Whistle Echinacea.
As ever, since learning that the Magus Arcanum was responsible for this incursion upon Iothalor, Echinacea has been having the same nightmares of being trapped in the Arcanum Towers, but as ever since Minri gifted Echinacea a sliver of her divinity, Echinacea has been holding fast to their faith, and with Aedwulf in their dreams has been dismantling the physical representation of the Arcanum, that tower, that anti-magic field in which they were trapped when they had no memory. And I think as Echinacea's dreams progress, they dismantle that tower brick by brick, and with each brick, they toss it into the air, and it becomes one of their terrariums. And within that terrarium is not a flower, but a memory that they have regained since leaving the Arcanum. And so as their dreams progress, they are surrounded by hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of little snippets of memory, all orbiting them as they dismantle this metaphor.
Perfect. Inspiration point. David, Whistle.
Whistle was probably Whistle's an early riser. I would say just before sunrise and everything, Whistle was already awake, dressed and everything, and left the humble abode, and is probably over at the Whittemore Estate, just kind of prepping like practice dummies and pulling out, shields and stuff like that. Just getting, and probably doing a little bit of solo practice with the Grave Hand Spade in the meanwhile, just getting used to the weight of it and everything.
It's a different weapon.
Weapon.
Go ahead and give me a general athletics check.
You got it, dude. No, not that one. This dice.
Not that one.
That's a 21. Yeah, I rolled the metal dice, which is for Nikolai stuff. This is Whistle stuff.
21. You're familiar with pole arms, so this is something, this is one that kind of falls very naturally into your pre-existing skill set. But as you've expanded your abilities with your Soulforged path, you have... Sorry, there was a loud-ass car horn outside. That was horrifying.
I was wondering what that was.
As you become more and more comfortable and familiar with your Soulforged abilities, you find yourself just sort of feeling the resonance of the blade, and it is easier and easier for you to fall into rhythm with it, and for you to create a rhythm with the weapon. You're kind of diving right into forms, and like
right into form.
But on inspiration point. Great pun.
Yes.
It's all three. But yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Can a quick question before? Can I still use inspiration points for soundboards?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So, as we pick up in the morning, who's doing what? Obviously, we know Whistle is training, doing a bit by himself early up in the morning before everybody else arrives. But yeah, you other two. What are you up to in the morning?
Honestly, I feel like Zio doesn't really have any other plans aside from doing more spirit calling.
Yeah, okay.
So I think they would probably wake up and head downstairs to get breakfast in preparation to probably like going out into the city, and maybe even like going out to the outskirts to try and just find anyone
Absolutely.
that they might need help.
Okay. Yeah, you come down to see Casimir in his mage wear, his full regale, as he is placing oatmeal on the table, just like a very thick porridge. He's an old man. He's just,
You look like you're going somewhere.
I am, yes, going somewhere. Going somewhere I am. Yes.
You don't have to tell me, it's fine.
I'm just going to the Lord Keep.
No. What for?
I have a meeting with Rivet.
Can I walk with you? I'll probably go around and see if I can find some Aminae.
Yes, absolutely. That sounds great. I have porridge here for everyone. Whistle is gone.
Thank you.
So, he did not get oatmeal.
I'm sure he ate something.
Fair enough. But, Casimir will kind of run up the stairs. Echinacea Kalen, there is porridge.
And I think that interrupts a conversation, and sort of wade back into the past, maybe half an hour. Echinacea awoke, and as the dream of the tower being dismantled and reformed into memories sort of fades, recedes from their mind, Echinacea starts to think on the day before rather than the dream that's sort of being, lost as so many dreams are upon waking. And they think about those moments in the snow, letting Lucian know that they don't want to leave him behind, Lucian letting them know the same. There's just this image in Echinacea's mind of the two of them making snow angels, and Echinacea looking over and seeing Lucian's face through the snow. And they fixate on that for a moment, and then they have that moment in the mind of realizing that they've been fixating on something.
Mm-hmm.
And Echinacea sort of blinks into proper awakeness. They look at Kalen.
Kalen's already up. He's prepping his books for the day. He's getting those organized and is just kind of finishing up the last straps of his armor.
I realized something.
He doesn't. Oh. Good morning. Okay, you realize something. He kind of sits in preparation. Just, do you want to talk about it?
They scooch up in bed and they start helping him with his armor where he stopped, fastening the pauldrons. Yes, I seem to have put my finger upon a feeling. And I don't even think I'm going to act on the feeling, but I want you to know it.
I appreciate that. I would love to know these feelings.
They turn him, helping him put on the prelude that they helped create. They trace the crescent moon upon it. Lucian and I have been dancing around some sort of feeling, and I think the care that I feel for him is perhaps not strictly platonic.
He smiles. I could see that.
Well, you should have told me.
It is not my place to tell you what your feelings are.
I don't know, every once in a while. It's very helpful. You're very insightful.
I knew that you and Lucian would get there sooner than later. At least I had that feeling.
On the subject of that, I could not help but notice that you pulled that man's hair to get him to go somewhere, and he didn't even complain about it. So is there something that perhaps you might be reflecting upon that isn't strictly platonic?
Kind of sits back. Huh. Why didn't you tell me sooner? He laughs.
Damn it. I've been got.
I think that there is the possibility of something. But I don't think it's something that if I'm understanding what you're saying, want to act on myself, or act on it first.
I think our minds are in agreement. Lucian has been through so much and has so much responsibility foisted upon his shoulders. Everything is new and everything is much, and I would hate to be another burden upon those shoulders, now that he is the Lord of Iothalor. But he talked to me yesterday about feelings going unspoken between him and Lazuli. And so while I do not intend to start anything, I would have him know what I feel before I leave.
Thank you for telling me. Grabs her hands, kisses her forehead. I am comfortable.
It seemed that way, but I appreciate the explicit validation. And like I think they're just having this very open, non-monogamous conversation when Casimir calls up that there's porridge.
Kaelin goes, oh, porridge?
Oh, you know what?
Hmm.
Whistle left. Echinacea opens the door. We would love porridge. Also, do you have Speedy Courier prepared today?
I
How
always have
fast
it
am I?
prepared.
Whistle is probably gone. They kind of peek. His door is also always closed, so I don't know.
Zio,
I was going to say,
go ahead.
it's probably, totally shut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zio, you see Casimir loading up a bowl. All right, give me 1 second. Cast Speedy Courier, shoves a bowl of porridge, closes it. Whistle on the training grounds. You get a similar courier, but it is a different flavor. There are these flecks of electricity, and it's like this kind of dark steel chest as it just into existence in front of you.
Whistle looks is in the middle of just kind of lopped the dummy's armor and just kind of just bisected it, looks over at the chest, walks over, pops it open and goes, "Oh, I forgot to eat again."
There is a note from Casimir that says, "Stop forgetting."
Not gonna litter. Throw it back in the thing.
You throw it back, you take it. Casimir just whatever. You hear him.
Casimir, don't litter.
You hear Whistle as Monroe's like, "Man, you killed him dead. All right. Care for a sparring partner?"
Always. Picked up a new weapon yesterday, courtesy of the good doctor.
Great.
Need to make sure it works.
I see a shield.
There is a shield.
Pulls out two
And,
guns.
I would say maybe that he doesn't even need to pull it out slowly. He just kind of starts going, and Whistle just got the shield, gets the shield up.
He's so Jason Todd coded. Okay, so folks get started with their day. Zio, you begin to walk with Casimir for a bit. Give me a nature check as you move into the city proper.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother.
That's a 15.
15?
Yeah.
And you woke up feeling good today. Feeling refreshed.
Yeah.
You feel that weight again. Barrel into your shoulders, but it feels less and less like your feelings. And it feels like a weight is being placed upon your shoulders. Like two hands are gripping you and just pushing you down towards the earth.
I think Zio rolls their shoulders a little bit. Are we currently walking?
Yeah, you guys
Zio
are
and
walking.
Casimir?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they kind of look around, unsure of what that is. I think this is... There is a moment of recognition that is this is something else, but Zio has never felt this. And because they have never felt this in comparison to something smaller, I don't think they would immediately recognize it as spirit calling, and instead I think they would be a little bit nervous. They look up at Casimir and they're like, "Do you feel that?"
The wind is a bit nippy today. My nose quite cold. Puts a scarf over his face. Is that what
Yeah.
you mean?
No, there's like a heaviness. Like heavy. Like something is sitting on my chest.
I'm sorry, Ezio. I do not feel that.
Oh. You
You
don't think it could be like another atropole or something like that?
I don't. I think so, but maybe best to check. Never be sure.
Okay.
You see Casimir's eyes like kind of steel as he's like, I may have to go into murder mode.
Yeah, Zia just sort of continues walking with Casimir, and I think they will walk with Casimir to the lore keep,
Okay.
but just kind of deposit them there and just say, have a good study day.
Thank
It's
you.
like they just walk
You
their
drop
child
him
to
off.
school.
Yeah. He catches us. Thank you so much, Theo. I appreciate it very much.
It's good to have a nice walk with friends.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. If you need anything, I'll be here all day.
Yeah. I had an idea for something, but I need to talk to Layla about it.
All right. I will not ask questions until you talk to Lila then.
It might, I don't know. It's a theory. I don't really know if it's something to pursue, but I thought I might ask. And since I know you suffer from the repercussions of the primordial current orbs, the Tetherians. It was just something she did yesterday. Still thinking about it. Do you think there could be other ways to help with removing the orbs?
From what
without,
I know of...
Without that machine, yeah.
From what I know, the primordial fuser is the only way. It's the only way I've ever encountered. Taking a source of magic and pouring it directly into a mortal host is a very particular process. It takes a very particular device. I could see it being possible, but I am not sure of the means with which to do so.
Whenever you took the orbs on, you just touched them, right?
No, they were put into the primordial diffuser and injected into me.
Oh. That's different then.
Quite.
Because
I know you absorb the Tetheriums.
Yes.
Well,
so
the end result is the same. We both have the primordial current within us. The means of entry are different.
So then for you, the diffuser would have removed the Divanthier magic part of it, maybe.
Give me a history check, Zio.
Just injected you with chaos, maybe? History check?
Mm-hmm.
I'm bad at those. I thought 13.
Okay, 13's above average.
I'm gonna use one of my. I'm gonna use one of my inspirations, see if I get something better.
You don't have to. You beat the DC because this is your own history.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You recall in this moment, as you're talking to Casimir, that even when you absorb the Tetheriums, the Divanthier magic fades and dissipates as soon as it is put into your body. All that remains is the current. The Tetherium is just the casing, right? Like the shell that the magic is being held within. Once it enters a host, that aspect of it is gone.
Maybe the thought I had wouldn't really work.
Well, best to investigate. See if you can. Said the wizard.
Yeah. Well, I hope you have some fruitful conversation with Ribbit.
Thank you, and I hope you find plenty of Aminae to help.
Yeah. I'll see you around.
See you. And Zio, as you move away, you just hear in the far distance, almost like someone whispering across a room to you, "Come to me."
So look back. I feel like they're halfway down the street and they hear this whisper in the wind, and they just turn around and just sort of wait, thinking that it's ascending. They wait for the rest of the words to come.
No other words come.
They continue down the road,
Okay.
just sort of perturbed.
Understood. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And while you're doing that, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Hey, don't bully them.
I'm not.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
Oh, that's a nat 20 with the 24.
Okay. Noted. Nothing happens. All right.
What would have happened?
I don't know. I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know.
Alrighty. So Zio, you make your way forward. Cool.
Okay.
Whistle Echinacea. What are you guys up to?
Echinacea is heading to the Whittemore Estate. And if Whistle is training, then I think that they will train with him for a while. But while they're doing it, they're also giving him and Monroe their laundry list for the day. So I'm going to, and they're not using any spells. So I am going to Glyph of Warding this house to oblivion, and also the ramparts. I can specify certain spells to target Isverdon and Lord Tarvish. And then I'm also going to check on Tifna, who is the only residing member of the Magus Arcanum in the city that I'm aware of. And, you know, I think she's their victim. I think all of the oracles are victims because they're taken from their families when they're children, and they are forced to use their oracular gifts by the Magus Arcanum. However, she's still a member, and I don't really know how to square that.
I think because we're in the middle of training while this is going on, like you've got Second Thought out and Whistle's got Grave Hand Spear. We're just kind of like doing motions of like ding 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 ding
Yeah.
while we're talking. Whistle.
Well, sounds like you've got quite a bit of work ahead of you. I'm just hoping to check in on these folks, make sure the training's coming along well. I'd like to touch base with Cassandra if I catch him. And beyond that, I'd happily escort you to see Tifna if you'd like.
That would be amazing. I will. How about I ward the home, and then we meet up again to talk to Tifna together.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding. Can I want to roll a quick insight check on the Isandro, because I think that could go over Echinaceia's head, but I also think maybe it wouldn't.
Go for it. Yeah, please.
There's
I rolled
no
a
deception,
19,
right?
David. Okay.
Yeah, there's no deception. I think Whistle is kind of offhandedly mentioning it. But well, the discussion with Zio happened a couple days ago, and I think that everyone's just been busy, but Whistle's being real casual about it, just kind of like, I gotta check in with this Sandro, but you can see with the 19, but you can see with 19 that there's definitely some thoughts there, so some considerations being made on how it's not necessarily going to be a very light conversation. Whistle's not the most emotional person, so I don't know how much stuff.
Yeah. So, Isandro, is it? I'm gonna pry. I'm gonna
ding ding
pry.
ding
Ding ding ding ding. They take like a slash across the arm. I'm gonna pry. Is this protecting Iothalor business, spirit calling business, or is it the other business?
It's related to Zio. I've had a conversation with Zio the other night, and I learned that it sounds like things are complicated between the two. And I think that they've been talking past each other. And maybe if someone were to point that out, it'd be helpful.
That's very fair. As someone who, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes Zio and I talk past each other. I think having it pointed out could be very helpful in the moment. That's very sweet.
I just don't want to see any of us hurt, whether that's physical or otherwise.
Well, I think Zio already is hurt, but perhaps it would help in mending some of that.
I hope so. We have a long list of enemies. We don't need to make each other our enemies.
Cheers to that, and they kind of like cheers their weapons.
ding.
Cha-ching. Okay, great.
And Echinacea will go. They'll go. They're not going to just do this without Lucian's permission, but they'll part ways with Whistle to ask Lucian if they can ward the bejesus out of his house.
You you find Lucian downstairs. It's early in the day, so he's just wrapping up, like setting breakfast out for people who are still staying in the Whittemore Estate. And he just looks, "Oh, good morning, Echinacea. How can I help you?"
Good morning. I would like to offer my services in protecting your home.
You see, he goes to say something, and then he's like, "How foolish would it be to compile the things we've done to each other, or done for each other, and decide it's enough? I would love your help."
Thank you. That's very gracious.
What do you have in mind?
They pull out their spell book. This is going to make robbing you so much harder.
Good.
I wish to cast warding glyphs in every room of the house that would trigger healing word if you were to be physically harmed. I would like to put some other wards in your room that would be more functional. Tongues, which you could touch and then be able to speak any language for an hour if you have maybe an important diplomatic meeting or something like that. Greater restoration in case someone fucks with you and you get cursed or something of the like. And then I'd like to put magic missile in every room in case Elizabeth decides to pull fuck shit.
He can't help but go, ha! Yes, I think that'll do nicely.
As for the ramparts, same deal with the healing word, same deal with the magic missile. I would like to also have certain things trigger on approach. I have a list of names. Feel free to add to it. There's a list that says Isverdon, Viola, Lord Tarvish, Helena, Vaymir, Dr. Satosh, and Inara.
Okay.
These would trigger upon the approach of any of these entities. And then they hand him another list that says Rathalim, Psychic Lance, Elemental Bane, Disarm, Blindness, Deafness.
It's a combination of shock, awe, and genuine horror.
Give a wizard time and they're a monster.
I wish I was a wizard.
Do you?
No. Well,
Oh.
I don't think I have the time.
That's very fair.
Would you like help?
By all means. You should know where these are anyway.
Holy fuck, could you imagine me flying down as a big bat and it just going, do, 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 do?
It won't. It will not trigger on you by design.
Oh, perfect.
That said, there isn't any fey quality to your werewolfness, werebatness, is there?
No.
Okay. I would also like to cast Forbiddance and Hallow on your house.
How much are we paying you for these renovations, good doctor?
You're not.
Oh, yes, indeed we are. You are using your skills and your talents to protect the Whittemore Estate.
I'll tell you what. What if you just buy the resources? Because Hallow and Forbiddance are both 1,000 gold each, and that is costly. But it's worth it.
It's not the first time one of you have come to me for money over the last few weeks.
What do you mean?
I cannot say.
Wait! Ooh.
I cannot say.
Lucian.
I cannot say.
Mm.
I promised.
Ooh.
It's a secret.
Bless you.
Whistle's ears are ringing out on the training grounds like, ah! Well, shall we go pick up components?
We shall. They'll go
Okay.
along this very long laundry list of
You-
spells to fuck our enemies in the future.
Yeah, love that. For the disgusting plan alone, go fuck yourself. Great. But yeah, you and Lucien will absolutely go and do that. Whistle, you're training in the yard, and it's going quite well. It's going pretty well.
The lad's looking okay. Everybody, the Ducal Guard coming along.
The Ducal Guard's coming along incredibly well. With the amount of training and the amount of consistency that you've garnered between yourself, Monroe, Richter when he was present, Kalen, and even Lucien when he can spare the time, you are creating a pretty consistent Ducal Guard here, and you are creating a Ducal Guard who cares as much as the people next to them as they do themselves. So this is a very tight-knit group. You had 16 once you started. That has near tripled over the course of the training. The word of mouth has spread to people who wish to defend their city, who wish to work to make the Ducal Guard something that Iothalor can be proud of. And you're actually approached by the dwarven woman that was described right after you made your speech. So sort of his training is coming to a lull, probably on a bit of a break, and he just sort of stands up. May I approach, Commander?
At ease.
Rests shoulders and steps forward, offers a very militaristic bow, and just well, the regiment and I wish to gift you with something, if you would allow it.
Huh. Sure. It's very unnecessary, you know.
We don't think so.
I sense that it would be rude not to accept.
With kindness, you would be correct, Commander. And
Things are a lot different here than where I grew up.
you know her to be Ness, Ness, and she offers a palm in order for you to put your hand in hers, face up.
Okay. He does so.
She takes it, and in your hand you feel cool metal as the sigil of Iothalor, a 7-pointed star with a jade gemstone in the center, lined with gold, is given to you. Now, you said that you didn't know our city, but this city has come to know you. And it has come to respect you, as we all have here. And you can see as a line of all of your trainees are standing behind Ness. The city wouldn't have been saved without your help. And we recognize that. And you've given us the tools here to protect it when you're gone. So whether you knew it then, or you feel like you know it now, you're one of us.
Whistle takes the sigil, holds it, and looks it over, looks back to Ness.
Thank you. I'll wear it with honor.
Aye, sir.
He turns to the rest of them.
All of you, thank you. I feel Iothalor is going to be in good hands.
I'll smile and stomp, bow in attention, and just utter a, "Thank you, Commander!"
I think,
As he's kind of affixing it to his lapel.
Yeah.
as a reward, maybe this afternoon we'll get to working with swords.
You see as small conversations burst out within the regiment. There's eagerness, excitement, and you've fostered a group who is eager and ready to learn above all else. And you have, there's a discipline here that was not present in the prior ducal guard.
Yeah, I think Whistle, after everything and while the conversations are happening, he'll kind of slip away, take a little bit of space, and just kind of look them over. And I think he's definitely got a sense of pride,
Yeah.
And then as he's kind of watching them, I think what kind of tripped him to walking away for a moment is when they all said, "Yes, Commander." He just gets like a flash of the Divanthir memories of hearing the, everybody going, "Yes, Lord Vendrick."
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's going to just kind of slink away a little bit, get a drink of water, and just kind of, in his head, he's really worried. He's thinking, he's glad that they're confident about being able to defend their home, but he knows that, or he has visions of the last time of a previous command where things did not go well. So he's as proud as he is, he's also worried and hoping that he's going to do right by him and train him up so that they'll be as good as they can be when the moment arises.
Understood. Where's Nikolai at this point?
Nikolai is in dagger form, and kind of so now with Gravehand's Spade, Whistle actually has like 2 layers of shields. There's a shield that is directly affixed to the back, which is Gravehand's Spade, and then there is the tower shield that was reworked, the Helena Mornsoul tower shield that Echinacea reworked. And Nikolai is in dagger form, but kind of slid into the top of the larger tower shield, so that the red ruby is kind of, at the top, and he has, he's present for all of it. And yeah, but he's in dagger form there, just sheathed. A while back, when the Prelude was first crafted, there was a red thread that was connected between Nikolai's sheath and Whistle. And I think overnight, or since the conversation with Lila, that thread has grown to be more of like a ribbon that is keeping Nikolai, affixed to the shield, but at Whistle's back.
Okay. Nikolai's been very quiet these last couple days. There's not been a lot of conversation, but in this moment, after you receive this gift, you just hear, "You deserve it."
Thank you. But whether I deserve it or not, I still feel somewhat conflicted about having to send people to battle at any time. But the threats exist.
If they're comfortable now, they'll be unprepared later.
You're right. How do you feel after our conversation with Lila?
Don't know. I don't know what is my feeling, or what is the influence of the Blade Brother. I'm afraid that I am not me. Or that I may not be me for very long.
We're gonna work as fast as we can to find these agents of the Blade Brother. We're gonna get you back as quickly as we can.
What will I be when we're done?
I don't know. But I do know you won't be alone.
I need you to promise me something.
What's that?
If I am, by the time I'm restored, anything like Lord Tarvish, you will put me down. I will not live like that.
But I promise I will do my best to make sure that you don't have to live a life like that. If that means that we walk away from all of this for whatever reason, then we will. We'll find a way forward. We've got one of the best doctors I think either of us have ever known on our side.
Been having dreams.
What kind of dreams?
I'm walking. And I find myself in a dark alleyway. But I'm not walking. I'm hunting. My prey is within sight. I stalk. Until the blade, until I... He doesn't finish the sentence.
I don't know if it means anything, or if it's just a bad dream. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. We need to focus on the here, now, the task in front of us. One foot in front of the other, we're gonna get you better. We're gonna restore you.
Okay.
We can't give up on each other, Nick.
I know. I know.
There's something I also wanted to mention. I think you know. But...
Is it about the other man?
You've always been perceptive. I need to do it. We need to do what we can to keep the tinge from affecting you further.
I think it's wise.
Oh, the other man.
Yeah. There's another sword in my life.
I was just.
And she's like, oh!
What?
It took me a minute, but I got there.
You're so valid. I shouldn't be on the field. In that way, I cannot be trusted. I'm not going to put you, Echinacea, Zio, or anyone we may face in the future in that sort of danger.
With that being the case, we agree. won't draw you on the field. But I might still rely on you to protect our friends.
I'll do what I can.
And just quick above table, I'm just mentioning this because the Soul Forged abilities are all still technically connected to Nikolai.
Yep.
So like warding
Yep.
transposition and all that
He
stuff,
can
like
do it.
he'll do that stuff, yeah, but
Yep.
I won't use him to
To bonk. Makes sense.
no
Love
bonks. Cool.
it. Okay.
No bonk, only protect.
Only protect.
Only protect. Okay. Perfect. You and Nikolai get back to training.
Start walking around and handing out short spears and short swords. And then I'll let everybody, and then I'll tell Monroe.
All right,
Yeah.
our fun is over. Now it's their turn.
No.
Yeah.
This is always the worst part of training, is sitting and watching their forms. They're all going to be dog shit.
Well, that's why we're here.
Pick up your elbow! Oh my god.
Easy with them.
Read.
Everyone starts somewhere.
Yep. Everybody starts somewhere, and they're starting on the fucking floor.
Although that one does look pretty. No, pick it up. Oh,
Yeah, no, she dropped it. She dropped it.
So rude.
Listen,
He's such a bitch. I love it.
I get it. They have to learn, but it's on us to suffer through their learning.
Oh my god.
I think that's what. I'm not sure if that's what it means to be a teacher or a commander.
I'm not a teacher, nor am I a commander.
You're just a bitch.
I beg to
Shut up,
differ.
Zio. I don't know where you are. Fuck you.
Yeah, that was just Zio like standing behind the two of them, like, you're just a bitch.
Zio's walking by.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll just walk around and clean up forms and
Clean up forms. Get to work.
start making them. Now that they've mastered shields,
All right.
move on to the next thing.
And we're about an hour in. We'll take our first break here. Take our first first base. That's
Hey,
crazy.
we're stealing first.
We're stealing first.
Can you do that?
I think you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
You can't not run. So it's you got
Anyway,
it's
Right, but is it
mandatory
stealing?
theft.
All right, guys. We'll see you in like 10 minutes. All right, everybody.
We're gonna learn how to play baseball.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
One fateful day, the fairy Lazuli fell through a rift between the Feywild and the material plane of Eosha. The amnesiac child was adopted by the reclusive silver dragon Ishror, eventually being gifted a dragon mark and becoming his scout. Over the course of a decade, Lazuli's prowess on scouting missions has helped Ishror grow his hoard of magical items and historical relics. Lazuli's life would change forever during one such scouting mission when she found herself racing 5 opponents to obtain a primordial current orb. Another, Zio, won the race, consuming the orb just before the Magus Arcana members arrived to take the assembled orb seekers into custody. However, they never reached the Arcanum. Rescued from custody by Sir and Echinacea, the group, now known as the Fated, took shape. Charged by Ishror with the investigation of the Preservium, a corrupt guild trafficking in items of power, Lazuli traveled into Driften with the Fated. There, Lazuli encountered the River King Uramil, Fae King of the Summer Court. Uramil revealed knowledge of Lazuli's parents, Lapis and Aura Isledale, as well as Lazuli's miraculous conception via Feywild Wellspring. During this time, Lazuli found herself smitten with Sir's distant relation, Captain Richter Oliphant, a valiant hero who saved those unlawfully imprisoned by the Arcanum. It would only be later revealed that Lazuli's father, Lapis, was among those saved by Richter from the Arcanum's clutches. Finding her insecurities preyed upon by the death hag Viola during this time, Lazuli was convinced to make a pact. Lazuli would be given powers provided she continued to develop her bargain. Otherwise, she would suffer the notice of the Evil Eye. Only now is Lazuli realizing that this refers to the evil god of the unallied pantheon, Ruin's Eye. Things came to a head at the Preservium's Gala of Innovation. Lazuli learned that the Preservium leader, Gale Umbridge, was formerly Ishror's scout, and that the dragon mark gifted to Lazuli by Ishror was originally meant for Gale. Worse, Ishror founded the Preservium. Lazuli also met Nivian's former employer, Dr. Satosh of the Sunwall Academy, who gifted her a vial of the Death Hag Viola's ichor. Much came to pass at the gala. Lazuli and Richter shared their first kiss. Lazuli adopted Echinacea as her sibling, and perhaps most notably, Lazuli caught her first glimpse of her father during the exhibition. The next day, Lazuli reunited with Lapis, who now travels with the Fated. On the path to reuniting with her mother, Aura, Lazuli found herself in the midst of a combat that felt too great to surmount. In that moment, she made a choice to deepen her pact with the death hag Viola. Drinking the ichor gifted to her by Dr. Satosh, Lazuli became a warlock. The deepening of this pact revealed a terrible truth. The death hag who holds her pact is none other than Elizabeth Whittemore, beloved of Sir, and twin of the Fated's ally, Lucian Whittemore. Through the trials of reuniting with her mother, navigating the pains of joining 2 families into one, learning that Ishror faces a draconic tribunal for crimes against 5 dragon eggs, resurrecting Echinacea and Whistle, transforming into a witch of the Ith, Lazuli has refused to kill, knowing that death will feed her pact keeper, Elizabeth. We find Lazuli delving into the Saiva home catacombs. There, she meets Inara, the Ruin's Eye devotee who took Lazuli's family from her. Defying Inara's attempts at corrupting her, Lazuli resisted taking a sliver of divinity for her own and left Inara alive. Lazuli herself was not so lucky, dying by Lord Tarvish's hand during combat with Whistle's former captain, Izradan. In death, she was confronted by Elizabeth's rage at not being fed. Now, after being brought back by Echinacea, Lazuli finds herself feeling above the state of death. Elizabeth awaits on the horizon, a threat to outwit. A fairy's work is never done.
Born in the Scorched Isles, Zio Marino grew up in the comfort of a loving family, only tangentially understanding the meaning of conflict. As with most young folks of the Scorched Isles, When they came of age, they traveled to the mainland of Tolesh, seeking purpose and knowledge to return to the Isles with. It was there that Zio joined forces with the Bright Fury Guild. Not long after, a mysterious voice spoke to Zio, and believing this to be his purpose, a pact was struck with the entity Isterus. Isterus sought a primordial orb, a rare object tied to the primordial current, a source of power which harnesses the sea of raw materials swirling in the plane of the elemental chaos. Zio found the orb first, beating several others, including Lazuli and Nivian, in their own pursuits of the artifact. Finding the first orb was only the beginning, tying his path to the companions they now call family, the Fated. In their travels, they have come to learn more of Isterus, a Famar Earth primordial, as well as the Union of the Tranquil. As creators of the primordial current, a centuries-long battle wages against the factions of the natural order: earth, wind, fire, and water. Isterus's dark influence and manipulations were revealed to Zio through the wisdom of Halides, the Vacron Air primordial member of the Tranquil. Seeking out more primordial current orbs, Zio found themselves contending against Wit and Alma, the avatars of Coletra and Glacia respectively, the Union of the Tranquil's fire and water contingents. These chosen warriors who seek to destroy the primordial current believe that no one should harness its power. Halides believes the current should not be destroyed, but rather shared with the world. Zio aims to understand the primordial current. It is during these times that Zio learns Isterus's goal of vengeance against Sunwall, wanting the current for himself. Zio severed his warlock pact with Isterus, unwilling to follow the morals of an entity that seeks retribution and destruction. After the severing of this pact, Zio, in their weakened state, fell victim to necrotic energies that, without the strength provided by Isterus, killed them outright. Thankfully, Zio was revived by the party's healer Echinacea. Despite this setback, Zio has managed to obtain 2 more primordial current orbs from under the noses of Wit and Alma. Following Zio's death and resurrection, Halides awakens Zio's primordial soul powers, revealing them to be a descendant of Vacron heritage and a sorcerer by birthright. After learning that his body could only absorb a set number of orbs before absorbing him into the primordial current, Zio grappled with their desire to continue collecting this power. In order to convince Coletra and Glacia not to destroy the current, they initially believed they would need every boon they could get. However, over the course of a conversation with Ishror, a silver dragon and Lazuli's adoptive father, Zio found themselves rejecting their impulse to consume any more primordial current orbs. Upon meeting the spirit caller Isandro, Zio found himself drawn to the practice of communing with the Aminae spirits of Ayosha, and drawn to the practitioner himself. Throughout their travels, Zio has begun to train as a spirit caller in their own right, navigating an uneasy alliance with Wit, a deepening of animosity with Alma, and a newfound connection to the natural world. Zio travels the corners of Tolesh with his fated companions, seeking an understanding of the current, its place in the balance, and any thread that will allow him to heal the pain the primordial current has caused.
see and hear you. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're back. Thank you for joining us again. Okay. So, Zio did a rush past the training ground, and
Yeah.
at this point,
They're
go
they're
ahead.
going over to Echinacea, who I think was still in the training grounds, right?
At this point, they were inside, but I think it would
They
have
were
been
inside?
easy enough to find them.
Oh yeah.
You
think-
see Echinacea on the ramparts now. They're casting Glyph of Warding like every 10
Mhm.
with Lucian walking
perfect.
beside them with a notepad.
And then Zio just takes a little hop, and then it's like a whoosh, and then flies up over to the ramparts to where Echinacea and Lucian are. It's like, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
There's no stealing happening.
No theft. I'm making it much harder.
Oh, yeah. Also, he tried to get me to help him to get you. I agreed.
Zio, Lucian.
Well, now you know that
Too scared to put me on your own?
No.
No?
No.
Interesting. You just haven't done it yet because you're
Busy.
practicing? Working up to
I did warn him. I told him that oh my god, Aidwolf. I forgot his name. I don't know. I told him that Aidwolf was gonna bite him, and he still
you
said
know
that
what?
he wanted.
They were right. And I did.
Yep.
And I feel no guilt.
Echinacea looks at their shadow. And he'll do it again.
I will do it again.
He'll do it again.
Lucian is just...
So I wanted to ask you, Echinacea, I know you're busy today. Would we be able to go visit Ellenbell?
Today I may have used
No.
all of my resources.
Lucian's looking at the book. Definitely did. They spent.
I can do some things ritually, but I cannot cast the teleportation circle. I can't today.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I asked.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. I want to talk to Wit. Kind of catch him up on everything. I think he has a right to know.
Ganesha's wings sort of fold around themselves. Absolutely. I can take you tomorrow.
Is that okay? Can I do like an insight check at all?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm giving myself disadvantage.
Oh.
Beat of 14, Zio.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
19.
I think it hits Zio that the entity shrouding themselves in their own wings is the cleric.
We don't we don't have to go if you're not comfortable. At least not tomorrow. We can wait a little bit longer.
No, we can go tomorrow.
Okay. I think I have an idea why you might be nervous. Can I? And Zio like takes a moment and just sort of like looks around and looks over at Lucia and just kind of like trying to like figure out if like there's any thing in his expression like feels a sort of like moment of just like knows that Echinacea values what's the word? Oh my god, I'm blanking. Values consideration.
Mm-hmm.
And so Theo just says, if you're saying it's okay, that it's okay with you, do you have space for me to offer maybe some words of encouragement?
I do have space for that.
Okay. I know how scary it is to put your heart on the line. And I think time is necessary to make sure you're prepared. And it gets really scary. But we'll never know if we don't try.
Echinacea is nodding along with Zio. My heart is a many-chambered thing. And in having space for more than one person, I sometimes remove the space for myself. I fear one thing and I yearn for another. And neither will be true until I speak to him again. And ultimately, I would rather know than not. So I sincerely mean that I am ready to go tomorrow. In one fashion, at least.
Well, whatever. I'll be there to hold you like how you held me.
Echinacea takes Zio's hand. They give it a squeeze. And however your conversation goes with Wit, I will be there to do the same. Though I hope neither of us need it.
That's true.
Neither of you need it.
And if we do, then Lucian can be there and put a blanket over us, and then we can talk about it over chamomile tea.
I heard something about Kaylin picking both of you up. I can't do that.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I can't. Listen, he's a
Very
cheetah.
strong.
You see, he has a belt that makes
Cheater.
him strong. Yes.
Oh, the muscles. The muscles are cheating.
The belt gives him the muscles.
Belt gives him the muscles. I
Yeah.
Do
see.
you want to? Why is it a problem?
I'm not jealous. You're jealous. We have work to do.
And Zio is going to take a step, climb up into the ramparts to essentially fly off. But I think just for like flavor, they catch sight of maybe Isandro coming out of the
Line?
of the wood. Yeah, just
Yeah.
catch sight of him, and then sees him there. And there's like that hesitation, and maybe Echinacea and Lucian notice before Zio looks back at the two of them, smiles, and then just takes a step into the precipice and flies.
Echinacea catches that look. Yeah, and I think they don't even say words. They don't know if what Zio needs in this moment are words. But there's a look of recognition and solidarity.
Zio, you fly down. Lucian giving you a very warm and reassuring nod. And Echinacea, as you're working on the rampart, he kind of kneels down next to you, taking notes, looking at the sigilry, tracing it with his fingers. However it goes, you are worthy of love. And whether or not he wants you now, he kind of laughs, knowing that he's about to repeat some advice, some insights that you've repeated to him. That's a reflection of where he is, not a reflection of who you are.
Lord Whittemore, you have to stop carrying me like this.
I made a promise.
You are quite the promise keeper. They just close the distance, shoulder to shoulder. You are worthy of love. And you deserve for others to help you shoulder this burden, even if you're jealous of some of their strapping arms.
I do have to meet with Kaylin today.
Why is that?
I want to check with him on something to see if he's
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah, he does. Oh,
Angie!
Oh.
And
Echinacea is thinking about their
they're
morning
not
conversation
clocking
with
it.
Galen.
Oh.
They're just like, well, yeah, I don't think they're clocking it so much as like, man, poor Kaylin's having a lot of comfort testing today, and they're not like, that's as far as they get.
They feel, as Lucian bridges a bit closer, well, I would like to see if he is comfortable with me taking you to dinner. And, well, I suppose I should ask if you are comfortable with such a thing. That would make sense.
I would love that. And I do think you should speak to him, but I think I know his answer.
He squints. Good.
Lucian. I want you to know that in being worthy of love, you are also worthy of a pace that serves you.
I know. I tend to move slowly. In all things. Unless it's the things I need to be quick at.
Physically, you move very quickly. It's a little frustrating.
And it will continue to be. Maybe today, perhaps, but we shall see.
Oh, I didn't ward the abode.
No, you did
Well-
not.
It's fine, Casimir did.
And he gave me the password.
Everyone's against me.
I care about. And you deserve the same. Something that moves at a pace that serves you.
Be careful what you say. I have a quick heartbeat. Easily flustered.
He leans in.
No,
It has been ringing in my ear all morning.
rude. 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 Okay. Yes, rude. Okay. Help me ward the ballistas.
Yes, good doctor. Gets up and the two of you finish warding, or continue to ward. Okay. Perfect. Whistle. What are you doing? Ah!
Probably reprimanding some trainees on their grip on the weapons. It's probably walking around telling the Ducal Guard,
Telling
get
the
it together.
Ducal Guard how it goes.
Yeah. And I think, again, just kind of doing this until Echinacea is done enchanting, and then
Okay.
plan to go meet up with them.
So we'll kind of, for the rest of the day, okay. We'll fast forward there, and then Zio, I imagine you wanted to approach Sandro? Or did you specifically not want
You're
to?
muted, Angie.
Ah!
No, Zio.
Okay.
Zio does not want to approach Asandro. I think it was just more so that, like, in that moment,
Wanted to show
they
the yearning.
watched. Yeah, the yearning.
Yeah. The certified
Yeah,
yearning.
it's the queer yearning. I needed that moment.
Understood. No. I wanted to make sure I understood. Perfect. That makes sense to me. Okay. So then, sorry, David. Go ahead.
No, Alec, yeah, on the subject of Asandro, yeah, Whistle does still plan to talk to him, and if he catches him, you would like to invite Asandro to join in on the training.
I will say
But-
you don't catch him because where Zio saw him was on
Yeah.
the other side of the city where he was coming out of the wood line. So he's not
Yeah.
directly where you are yet. And this has
Yeah.
to happen when you guys are separated. I'm not
Yeah.
having this happen when everyone's together.
Alec is like, no, it has to be messy.
Hey, I'm doing
No problem.
this for the plot, okay? All right. But I will say, we'll kind of wrap this day up here then.
Can we talk to Tifna?
That's, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I was going to finish my sentence. We're going to wrap up the day with talking to Tifna, and then we'll go into the next day. So, Echinacea, you and Lucian have successfully warded the Whittemore Estate, and you go down to catch, walking down with you as Lucian, you catch Whistle, Monroe, and Reeves as they're kind of talking as individuals are leaving. You know that Lucian is going to head to the abode to talk to Kaelin.
Good luck.
Thank you. It will go fine. And nothing will go missing, I swear it.
I'm about to be robbed.
Oh, thank you for your work, Whistle. And Echinacea, thank you for all of your help today.
Whistle's
This
going to just
place.
cheekily.
Anything, Lord Whittemore. At your service, Lord Whittemore.
Enough.
Whistle, is that a sigil? What is that?
A gift. The Ducal Guard. Seems I've If the Lord's okay with that.
You won't have a home here. No matter how fucking annoying you are.
Excuse you.
I did not sneeze.
Go talk to Galen.
Commander. He bows in respect. And Lucian, puts on a winter coat and begins to walk to the humble abode. Monroe's doing this number. The fuck was that about?
I might have a date.
With him?
So don't make a face. You did that about Kalen too.
Yeah, he's alright.
Don't be rude.
I'm joking. He's good. He's great. Kalen's great.
I'll fight you. If you're mean to my boyfriend, I'll fight you.
Reeves is like, they will. They'll fight you and they'll beat your ass. Well, I was just saying to Reeves that maybe we should go drinking tonight.
I can stand for a drink.
I could stand for a drink. Gentlemen, can I ask you for something?
Well, stand. Monroe and Reeves stand at attention.
I think Whistle joins them.
Oh. Will you tell me that I am ready, even if it is a lie?
Ready for what?
And Echinacea's posture straightens. The cleric sort of emerges. To see Lorien.
Reeves kind of takes a deep breath. Looks his oldest friend in the eyes. You're ready.
Thank you.
Monroe kind of just walks up right to them. Hey, I believe in you. And you're ready. I know you got a date coming up. He gotta tease his Lucian again. But you're an absolute catch.
It's not about being a catch, but I appreciate it.
Whistle will say,
Luckily, I don't have to lie. If you're ready, if you feel you're ready, then you're ready.
David, you muted in the captions.
oh no. Wait, how?
I don't know.
Why? We do. Hello, testing captions.
Yeah,
Captions. Captured.
Now that I have been either lied to or not, I believe you that it's not a lie, and thank you, Whistle. But now that I've heard what I need to, I would love a drink.
Nod. Drinks.
To the pub.
Head to the pub. We'll do Tifna later, or do you want to do that first before you go to drinks?
Should we do Tifna drunk?
Shit.
Yeah, Tifna first. Understood. Okay, you guys go seek out Tifna. She is within the Whittemore Estate. Easy enough to find her. You find her in that sitting room where Lazuli was. She is just reading. She sort of looks. Oh, hello.
Tifna, hello.
How are we?
Whistle. I'll say
Okay.
Whistle is going to kind of fade back, like bodyguard mode.
Mm,
Oh.
You know, just kind of like hang 2 steps back and to the left.
understood.
You know, but closely watching Tifna and listening to the conversation.
Quite well, and how are you?
A lot more comfortable now that this city isn't occupied.
Yes. When you arrived, was the city already occupied?
It was right before. Probably about by a week.
And the letter you received from me. I understand that you did not follow my request, but I am wondering if you wanted to, or if... I'm wondering why you didn't.
Alec?
Yeah.
Real quick. Sorry to interrupt, but before you go in, can I just have Whistle be like on a permanent, like just keeping an eye on Tifna, trying to gauge if any sort of deception.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to. I was not given the opportunity to.
May I ask who made you come here?
She kind of looks up, giving you a very knowing look. My handlers. Mage's Arcanum.
And
I
what
thought-
might the names of those individuals be?
She goes, I thought you would ask. One of them is a fire genasi by the name of Ignition. And another is an elven individual by the name of Nisil.
And are they based out of Aldengate or elsewhere?
Aldengate, yes. And I'll say, David, roll me an initial insight check here. Just because you voiced that you were watching for deception? Can
Watching for
Echinacea, in their
anything
questioning,
sus.
be assisting
I'll allow it, yeah.
via
So-
the course of their questions?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Schmadvantage.
14 plus 6 for 20 you're going to blush when you tell your parents about.
So far, no deception. She is reading as honest.
Cool.
And with a 20, you blush when you talk about your parents. There's a bit of nervousness around the topic of the Magus Arcanum.
Mm.
That much is very clear.
Okay. Nervousness we will allow. But
I'll allow
yeah,
it.
if we clock anything sus, then Whistle's going to try to signal to Echinacea.
He's gonna shoot Tifna in the chest.
And your employers, have they stationed you here indefinitely?
Yes. Since I have completed my training and ascended to the full title of Oracle, I will reside here in Iothalor until my death, or until they deem a new Oracle fitting of my station.
And do they keep track of your visions?
Most of them, yes.
How?
I am sat in a room. I succumb to a Zone of Truth spell, and I repeat them.
Have they... So they come to the city?
No, I go to Alden Gate.
And when you say most, may I
Okay.
ask why it isn't all?
Tell them that some are just dreams. And I keep those to myself.
Under a Zone of Truth spell?
I tell them of the explicit visions I've had.
We spoke the first time I came to Iothalor. You said you wanted to serve the Arcanum. You wanted to do this duty. So I have to wonder why you keep these dreams to yourself.
Whistle, you're starting to pick up on much more nervousness. And Echinacea, no roll required. You're starting to pick up on nervousness.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know what they do to traitors. And I don't want that to happen to me.
Why would honesty make you a traitor?
Because my visions paint the Arcanum in a villainous light. And I trust my visions.
I'm inclined to agree with the visions of an oracle as well. The home which has newly been hallowed and forbidden cannot be scryed upon.
Mm-hmm.
Let me assure you that the magic I have been casting today makes this space unseeable to those who might wish to pry.
It is good to know that the Arcanum is being subjected to their own tactics.
Yes, I've walked their hallowed halls.
As have I.
Tifna. What binds you to them?
Law. Law and even knowing that the space is warded, there is still a fear present. Very similar anxiety to what you've experienced, Echinacea. No matter what I do, they will find a way to get me.
Will you give me a moment, Tifna?
Absolutely.
And Echinacea, knowing that we are in this side room,
Mm-hmm.
will ritually, so they take their time with this, they are setting out the pieces of this ritual, and they cast silence upon the door leading into this space. Anyone remaining who could pry now cannot, including Lady Whittemore.
Laws. The Arcanum has placed himself within plenty of governments. And, well, when an oracle is found, any parental right, guardianship, is given over to an Arcana mage. We are raised there. We are conditioned to serve the Arcanum. And she rolls up her sleeve. And you see a tattoo on the upper arm. And then we are given collars with leashes.
I see. And what does that do to you?
cannot leave the material plane. If I do not check in with my uppers, they have a means with which to find me, to scry upon me. And as she's speaking, you hear something exactly similar to the tattoo that Lucian had from Sunwall. To the T. If they were to catch Tifna misbehaving or working against the Arcanum, they could cast spells through that tattoo to keep her in line.
Echinacea knows how to be rid of it, but they also know that they will be aware.
Correct.
And they're aware that the current space we're in, she can't be scryed on, which... They're, like...
It's a mixed bag, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I recommend you leave the estate grounds in order to tell them that hallowing magic has been cast upon this place, so that they know that you have not broken your bounds. And I encourage you to reflect upon what you might want for yourself if you did ever decide to break those bounds.
I know exactly what I'd do.
What's that?
I would find my parents. My real ones. And I would try and help every oracle I could.
I was naive when I spoke to Lisette Fellentrap, the Oracle of Alden Gate. I believed her when she said that she did not wish to leave. I want you to be able to find your family.
Thank you. But I will say, you may have been naive, but maybe you weren't. Because some oracles do believe in the cause. They are allied with the Magus Arcanum.
Yes, but this is the woman who freed me. I appreciate the warning.
It just seemed important to know.
Echinacea is not outright saying that they will act against the Arcanum.
Mm-hmm.
They are very purposefully using I wish, I hope, I want statements.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what you would want me to roll to get across to Tifna the fact that Echinacea has actively started planning what it looks like to free her.
Give me a persuasion or a performance check, your choice.
I'm gonna do persuasion. Wow, bad. Well, okay, 16.
16. A 16 is more than enough. Is she just sort of... You see her just sort of... Her breath catch. As like tears begin to well in the eye. She just nods furiously. Granting you that permission to help her. Informing you that she wants that help. Without saying a word, a plea, a scream, a cry is uttered across a silent room as you see someone wishing to break the chains that were once on you.
Tifna, if you ever wished to share your dreams, I would love to hear them. For I have a feeling that our dreams look very much alike.
Would love that. I think our dreams are very similar.
And I think what Echinacea is going to do is take their time. They have nothing but rituals to their name right now.
Love it.
They very slowly cast telepathic bond between themselves, Whistle, and Tifna. They say their verbal goodbyes, and then into both of their minds they say, "You may tell us those dreams here if you wish. The names of the people you wish to find, and any information that may help. Become a little less governable."
Things that would help.
And I think this conversation continues as Whistle and Echinacea leave, right?
Yep.
If this memory were to be looked upon, a goodbye was made, right? Yep. Echinacea, I think, would try to mask their ritual of telepathic bond with more glyphs of warding.
Okay.
However,
give me an Arcana check on that.
Okay. I'm going to use my inspiration.
Yeah,
that's not good enough.
Fair play, fair play.
25.
Okay, that is enough. The conversation continues as she gives you the names of oracles. One being Yars, a changeling woman, Yars. And she currently resides in... Why is my roll 20 not up? I'm such a dumb little idiot.
And you don't have to, like, if you want to compile everything later, that's okay. I want to make clear that this is a space in which information can be exchanged.
Absolutely. I only have a few of the ones that she is aware of. So I want to be sure to give those. She is in Isle Adil. And then you have Nemita, Nemita, a halfling oracle of Ontalos.
Okay. And the dreams?
The dreams, she sees a table with... And she's kind of giving you the breakdown here where it's like... The symbology is less important than the context she gleans from it. She sees a table with the 5 major arcana, and she sees the dragon leave it. So she believes that the dragon has defected from the major arcana. So now they are 4. But she stresses that there is good to be found there because, hey, less major arcana. But now they are equal. The number is even. There is power in that evenness, in that unanimity. And she also gives you a dream of a militaristic takeover of Shenthir with Driftinian troops, what you know to be the war that they are trying to sow. And you get the final dream that she is able to share is one of encompassing the entire world. The Magus Arcanum all forming and planting flags of power within different nations. And She warns that they are gaining more power in Tolesh and that Drukamesh is quick to follow.
Okay.
Okay.
Echinacea will listen. And yeah. Start to formulate a means via which they can... Oh, the last thing.
Yep.
Does she remember the city she was taken from as a kid, her parents?
Oh, yes. She was taken from Valen.
Okay. Parents' names?
She does not remember.
Thank you, Tifna.
Thank you. I'll update you with any more dreams I have.
Be cautious.
I will.
You can trust Lord Whittemore.
That's good to know.
You cannot trust Lady Whittemore.
That is... Oh, I know.
Okay.
I got that. I want to help you however I can, when I can.
Stay alive. And I think Echinacea will just look up at Whistle, like, very obviously incredibly intent, but also afraid in the way that they were at the end of the night, that very long day, chasing down the remaining Aminae, grappling with witnessing someone in a place that they had been in only months ago. And you can see someone who's trying to, like, be strong and be focused and be solution-oriented, but this is also bringing things that they had buried back to the surface.
Yeah, I think as we're heading out, and Whistle and Echinacea kind of shares that with Whistle. He'll, as they're like making their way down the stairs of the Whittemore Estate, Whistle will say,
Rest assured, in this fight, you are the commander. You are not alone.
Echinacea says what they mean. I don't feel alone when you're with me. And then they remember saying it to Lazuli.
Mm-hmm.
Their face falls. I know. And I thank you, Whistle.
Is something the matter?
Yeah.
I mean, beyond all this,
I'm just, seeing shadows.
good thing you have a dog made of shadows then.
You think my shadow sees me?
As you two walk off Echinacea, you feel a familiar internal hug from Aedwulf. I'm not going anywhere. And we will close this scene here. Inspiration point for you both. Zio, where do you go as you dive down from the Whittemore Estate? Where do you head?
I think it's just for the rest of the day. I think they'll just continue doing more spirit calling.
Yeah, absolutely.
But towards the end of the night,
Mhm.
I think they do try and call for Elitis. I know that the group was talking about going to get drinks, so I feel like at some point
That
maybe
you would have been
Zio,
called for that, absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, like Zio meets up with them as well. I don't know if we're going to montage that, us just like getting drinks together, but I think before the end
we'll
of
do
the
a little scene
night,
of it, for sure.
yeah, before the end of the night, Zio reaches out to Halitis, or tries to find where Halitis is. Is he still in the grounds of the Whittemore Estate? I know he was like
He's still
kind of
hanging
going
around.
about.
He's still hanging around.
Yeah. So I think after
I'd say you
a day of
probably find him
yeah.
before you like attempt to reach out to him. Like, he's kind of just a guy walking around right now.
Yeah, he's been just like existing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that after a day of like just spirit calling, like reaching out to like just little guys around the city, it's like my Pokemon training montage.
Yeah, absolutely. You find a lot of Aminae that need some assistance, so you're able to help all of them.
Yeah. I think Zio will meet up with Halitis. And have you well, first of all, hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm well. How are you?
Good. I think.
Good, you think?
Yes. I wanted to. Have you felt anything weird? Have you?
No.
Have you felt?
Things have felt quite good in the city.
Okay, so you haven't. There hasn't been any errant feelings of Isterus's presence around?
Not that I felt. Have you felt anything? Imagine
I
you
heard a
have given your
voice.
question.
I heard a voice calling out to me, saying, "Come to me," and it just reminded me of when I first met him, when I first felt like I was seeking him out, and well, I ran, so I'm not really sure if it's. Don't know.
I think if Istrus were here, he would make himself visible. I think we would know it.
He wouldn't be playing, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's
Comforting. But
comforting, but also not, because I don't know what that
creates
voice
more
was.
questions. Yes.
Yes.
Could it be an Aminae? Have you spoken to Asandro about it?
If not, about it, no. I think I should go find him. I should.
You're saying you should, but do you want to?
That's the problem, is that I do.
I'm getting the feeling that things aren't going well there.
Oh no, I don't know how many times I'm having this conversation. No.
You give him the
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 rundown.
dreaded
Zio just-
post-breakup convo
Yeah.
where you have to tell
It's-
everyone.
Every single person just regurgitates everything back, gets teary-eyed,
Politis is very apologetic and very comforting and very fatherly.
Yeah, and there was a moment when I spoke with him and I couldn't stop. I saw myself in Isterus.
Oh. You are not Isterus.
You don't know that.
I do. I actually do. I am probably the only expert on the material plane of who exactly Isterus is.
True, I guess I spoke too soon, but
Still, it still haunts me. Knowing that he came for me, that he
used
chose
you.
me. He chose me, and I've always wondered why. What did he see? But I think what's most important is, right now, what's most important is spirit calling. I can't keep avoiding Sandro if this is important, if this is an Aminae.
Zio, I implore you to do what is right for you right now as well. You are very clearly hurting. Do you find tending to the
Yes.
Aminae helpful?
Oh, yes, I do.
you want to see? And then pulls out their little notebook. And they've been as bold as the first one.
Yeah.
But then over the last few, since today specifically, because I think bold was yesterday, there's maybe 3 drawings of other Aminae that they've seen throughout the city today that they've helped out, and says,
I woke up feeling much better after helping this little guy, and then I've started just notating the ones that I come across, because I think,
You're so
well,
rotund.
one, yes, he is, but they're funny and also very sweet, and I feel like it's important to maybe remember them. And the same as I told Lucian, not everyone can see them, and I think this is a way to remember them.
I think that's lovely, and I'm sure they appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Take it from an old man who has been where you are. Don't feel rushed to speak to Sandro. Do what makes sense for you in the moment. You are hurting as much as he is. And you deserve
Do
to
you
take
think-
care of yourself.
I just don't want him to feel like he's not welcome either.
He can also approach people if he liked.
That's true. He could have done so, but he felt like he couldn't because of me.
And why was he... He may feel differently now. Sandro is a grown man who can make his own decisions. I
Wow,
implore you...
that's the smartest thing.
What I'm saying is, his choices are his own, just as yours are your own. Do not make yourself responsible for what he does, or how he reacts. He is responsible for such things.
then I might be doing things the wrong way.
There is no
Still.
wrong, there is only different. And you can always change the way you approach things.
Okay. Well, I've got a date with the group. Will you want to come?
To get drunk at a mortal bar.
You don't have to get drunk. You can just sit with us.
I've never been drunk.
Do you want to be drunk?
I might wish to try.
It's
again.
not. It's not a good feeling.
Then why do so many people do it?
It's good in the moment. It's not good afterwards.
Well, that's like anything in excess.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why people do it.
I wish to be
Do you ever-
drunk.
Let's go get drunk.
All right.
I think Zio, even after this conversation with Helitis about Isandro, in the very common, like, I shouldn't text him, but no, I shouldn't text him. No, I'm not gonna do this. Let me just.
Can you give me?
Oh,
Text your ex you love him, then turn your phone off.
Can you
Give me
what?
a wisdom saving throw.
Huh? Okay. Zia was gonna cast sending and be like, "Hey, we're going to the bar. If you want to come, okay, bye." But wisdom saving?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's a 9. 9?
You feel an intrusion in your mind.
Huh? Oh no.
As those feelings of doubt begin to swell within you. He's not seeking you out because he doesn't want to see you.
Oh.
Why would he want to? Look at you.
Zio.
Pathetic, selfish little thing.
Zia looks up at Helitis, trying to see if it's his mouth moving.
Helitis is moving like this, excited to go to the bar.
No, that's not. Zio holds her chest.
I'm but repeating the words you say to yourself. I am your reflection. Go ahead
Zio
and give
looks
me a
around.
nature or survival
Yeah.
check too.
Nature survival. So just
Whichever
add
one
both
you
of them?
want. No, whichever
Oh,
one
it
you
was
want.
your okay. got
One
it.
or the other.
Nature or survival. Let me see which one's the better one.
Probably.
I can't read. They're both the same. No, nature is.
I was gonna say probably. Yeah. I can't read.
That's a 10.
Do you have an inspiration you want to use?
I am. Yeah. I was gonna use a
I'm going to use it. Yes.
better. That's a 15.
Through your lessons with Isandro, funnily enough, you recall the fluctuating states of Aminae can affect individuals in their near vicinity just as much as people can affect Aminae.
Yeah.
And this very quick wash of dread, you're starting to piece together that this feels foreign. And more than it feels foreign, it feels like something preying upon your insecurities.
Zio's just sort of like stock still in that moment. Like they were mid walk with Helitis when they stopped in their tracks. And they're trying to look around, trying to see for anything, trying to find where this voice is coming from.
You're not able to find it, but Helitis eventually notices that you're not following anymore, just You all right?
It's happening again. I think it is an Aminae. Something. It's dark. It's mean.
Well, what do you want to do?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like, what would Sandra do?
I don't know.
Zio is still clutching their chest, and all of a sudden they feel the sigil, the necklace.
Yeah.
And they grip it. Echinacea. Immediately, and I don't know.
Yes.
I can only assume that Echinacea and like Whistle and the group are together heading.
I say that everybody's probably converging toward a bar.
Mhm.
Let's say you guys are going to a Red Feather, like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Are you with Whistle?
Yes. Are you? You sound warbly. You sound feelingful. Are you okay?
No,
Where are you?
I'm at the Whittemore Estate. Voice.
A voice?
Yes. I don't want to be alone right now.
I'm coming to get you. Echinacea's already moving. And only Whistle
Following.
knows why. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say pretty
Reeves
quickly.
and Monroe are like,
They're like, Monroe goes, man, they're excited to get drinks.
A voice. A voice is, what's it saying to you? You can't see anyone?
No, I thought it was Holitis. I thought it was Isterus, but it's not. I think it's bigger. I think it's an Aminae.
Bigger. Okay. Do.
You guys are together.
Can we, as we start moving, Whistle is going to pull a feather out and do a whistle and call Anvil, so we can get.
Yes.
We can keep moving.
Swoops underneath you, picks you both up, and you guys get to Zio real quick.
Thank you, Whistle. Echinacea hops off of Anvil, pats Anvil, says, thank you, and then turns around. They look at their spellbook, they go, fuck. And then they look down at their ring that was given to them by
Mr. Harry Oden.
Harry Oden. Thank you. I was like, not Harold.
What?
So there's
I think
something.
Zio kind of meets the two of you as you show up.
Echinacea is just holding Zio.
It was saying very mean things.
Hey.
Hey, bitch!
I don't know if I should call for Sandro. I don't know if I should ask for his help with this. I think it's.
What do you want to do, Zio?
I think I need to find it. It keeps. It feels heavy on my chest. It feels like it's trying to break me. But I don't want to go alone.
Then you won't.
You're not alone.
Holitis,
Yes.
can you... okay, can you find Sandra and let him know? Ask him if he's feeling it as well.
I can.
Okay. And Zio is going to look out into the through, like, their eyes just sort of like scope through the city, and they know it can't be in the city. They've quite literally have been reaching every corner of the city trying to help the Aminae within it.
Yeah.
And then their gaze sort of travels to the distance, to the tree line behind the Whittemore Estate, around it, and just sort of trying to like piece where this could be coming from.
I'd say give me a survival check here.
Okay. Guess survival. It's a 12.
$12.
Yes.
You're able to lock in a general direction, which is away from the city. You're absolutely right about that. And you're able to kind of, obviously not getting a direct location, but there's a general tree line not too far off from where the final Ebonite Knights were felled.
Does that click for Zio?
That it happened there? Yeah.
Well, does it click for Zio like that if the Ebonites fell there, that like their influence, that dark energy, that sort of that
Something particularly malicious could pick up something like a greater Aminae?
Yes.
Yeah.
Zio starts booking it.
Echinacea follows.
Okay.
Actually, Echinacea hops on the anvil.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah. And I think Zio will fly.
Okay.
Yeah.
You fly, you move forward. Echinacea, Whistle, you guys are on anvil, moving quick, keeping pace with Zio.
Robert, Rifton, Jonathan, Heather, Duchess Delilah, Claudette, Marie Laveau, the second of the Whittemore Laveaus. Do you feel anything amiss?
That was impressive. That was beyond impressive. It was the listing of all of the terrarium
I
flower
love
names.
it whenever they do that.
Inspiration point. You know what? Level up. You're level
They're my
20 now.
babies. I'm level 20.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
David's birthday.
Yeah!
Months early.
And David goes down to level 1.
Stop.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Angie also gets to level 20. Hey, fuck you, David. Claudette goes, it is quite the unfortunate atmosphere here. I'm not... It's dour, dark, rude, even.
Definitely rude.
It is one of our kind. But powerful. One that feeds on darkness and doubt. Okay. You move in and you guys land in the forest. Do you guys, Zio, do you communicate the connection? Or are you just booking it?
Yeah, I think they arrive at where they fought those
Okay.
Aminae,
That makes sense.
and then get to the ground, and start sort of like they're muttering under their breath. They're just sort of like it's. They pick up the intent, the evil, the bad. It's not bad. It's just influenced. There's no bad Aminae. There's no bad Aminae. It's just influenced that way because of what's happened here. That's what he taught me. That's what I have to understand. It's influence. It's influence.
Echinacea. Oh, you. Sorry.
Yeah, and then they I think they just look up at you guys, not realizing that you'd been standing there. We here. We took them down. And I felt it. I felt like I couldn't help you, Echinacea. Like I didn't matter.
You don't.
You didn't matter? Did we all hear that?
Yep.
Sword
Oh.
drawn.
Echinacea doesn't draw their. I mean, okay, so they pull out their spell book, but they're not preparing anything. Nothing combative. Echinacea looks to Zio, having heard Zio say there are no bad Aminae. You felt like you didn't. Tell me what you feel, Zio. And as they ask that, they start to cast Minor Illusion, and those same drums back, way back when we buried the Bright Fury, start to play again as they cast Minor Illusion. And there's just this soft drum beat in the forest.
I feel small.
You are small.
I feel inconsequential.
Indeed.
I seek power because I'm weak.
And selfish.
It's selfish.
There will always be something stronger than us. There will always be a Kaelin to Lucian.
That's crazy.
There will always they're like they are. Echinacea's genuinely bringing like levity here. I think that the way that they see to combat this is to dismiss it.
Yep.
And not in a cruel way.
No, 100%.
But just to both look at the surface truth and what's being said, and then the falseness underneath it, right? There will always be Helgons. There will always be those who stand a little taller than us. That doesn't make us small.
There will always be Landiths. Two Curvaiths. Zio will look out, will try to search, their eyes darting around, trying to find the source of this voice.
I think it's easy enough to see. It's akin to a big cat. A large, black, shadowy, what looks to be something akin to like a cougar or a panther. But it has two sets of front legs and a large set of back legs, with two kind of twirling, intertwining tails, and these just wisps of shadow that sort of form this faux mane, just circling, waiting for more food.
Zio looks at Echinacea briefly, and then slowly, from where they were on the ground, they like slowly get up. And then they look back at Whistle as well.
Whistle, sensing the tact, Whistle's got the weapon, gone from an offensive position to more of a defensive, kind of draws the weapon in, flips the blade back up, and looks at you, Zio, and nods reassuringly.
And there's this like moment of having the both of them there. And also acknowledging that Lazuli's presence is missing in this moment.
She left you.
But
they will too.
no. No, they won't.
They will not leave each other.
Temporary. Lazuli's not gone. She's with us. She loves us. Oh, if you're speaking, Alec, you're muted.
So, the lies we tell ourselves.
Zio slowly starts walking over to it. This slow creeping forward. And there's this flash of a memory in the forest in the Scorched Isles as their father is contending against those creatures. The similar sort of cat-like figure. And Zio just This is so strange. I can't expect myself to speak to myself. You are me, aren't you?
There's a visual sort of conflicted response to that, right? This entity has been calling you weak. It's been calling you small. It's been affirming every negative thought you've had, and now that is being reflected back onto it.
You're saying this because it's me. And then Zio sees this cat-like figure and also just remembers the fire that came with Wit's presence as well. The belief in that show of power. But also clicks the similarity that Zio has said words before to someone in their same situation, in their same frame of thinking, and they believe those words before. And through so many things, that belief was chipped away to leave them in such a dark manner. And that's what they see right in front of them now. I have a very good friend who told me, and Zio looks back at Echinacea, that learning is not failing. I think fear is not failing either. And Zio will get closer, extend a hand out. And I have another friend who said that it's okay to be selfish. And it's okay to embrace that. With consent, of course. You're allowed to be selfish if you need to feed.
You can ask. And I have another friend who loves her family, her sibling, her mother, her father, her love. And she's doing what is necessary to learn again. Learning is not failing. Fear is not failing.
You step closer and closer, Zio, until I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah. Dex save. Here we go. I'm good at those. Yeah, that's a 21.
21. The greater Aminae pounces at you
Yeah, okay.
and lands over you, but you manage to keep your footing. And like you're in a very similar defensive position as to what your father was in that memory, in that painting. Low to the ground, but not trembling, not in fear, in defense. Holding your ground. And this greater Aminae just
Lies. You don't believe that. You can't.
You see the
I'm
shadows
learning
beginning
to.
to fade.
Yeah, I'm learning to.
Mm.
Going to take time. And with all of my friends teaching me that I have a love that reminded me that this has purpose, this healing, this learning. And I'm going to show that love that I can.
The greater Aminae leans forward and just sniffs you as if it would sniff potential food. And it stands upright. Sorry, go ahead.
Zio tries to touch at its face.
Doesn't stop you. As it becomes very clear in its face it no longer can garner food here. You have a path forward to quell that darkness within yourself. You have ways forward.
Is there anything that Zio can do for it to try and quell that hunger?
It's already been done. In times like these, creatures get ravenous when there is an ample amount of food present. Bit of a frenzy. Zeroed in on you because those tempestuous feelings were rampant. But the words given, the words that you've heard from your friends, the purpose being that of healing not only the world around you, but yourself. It has been satiated.
I think Zio stands from where they're crouched, and then with one hand on the creature's face and then another kind of brushing through the mane, they're going to press their forehead to the creature's forehead.
I hope it was a good meal.
Looks between the three of you. There are still snacks to be had, but I am full for now.
Be kind to the snacks.
Looks directly at Echinacea.
Echinacea is willing themselves not to think about the things that are scaring them and making them feel small and making them feel too weak to contend. They push away their plans or lack thereof for the Arcanum. They push away their fear that Lorien will reject them tomorrow, and they just focus on Zio. You know, I do a lot of saying that I'll be there for you, Zio, and it's true. But I think I realize what you needed to hear that I wasn't saying. And it's that I trust you to be there when I need you too. And I know that you'll be enough when the time comes. That you will be big when I am small. That you will be there for me when I fall.
Zio extends a hand out to Echinacea,
Echinacea takes it.
and they bring them closer to the Aminae. For them to also feel, to also interact, and in our own way, in this natural space, commune with it even. Hopefully this is enough. Then you can rest with a belly full.
Nudges the head on your chest, Zio, and then on your chest, Echinacea. I'm well fed. You were right. As he's walking away, there are no bad Aminae. They see a very large, big cat climb into a tree and promptly fall asleep.
Ah, big cat Aminae.
All cats are the same.
Zio just wipes away some tears and then walks back with Echinacea to Whistle's side.
I feel lighter. Not as heavy. Yeah, he was heavy.
Good job.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. I don't want to do any of this alone. Whatever happens in the future.
A wise man said many times today that we're not alone.
Hey, let's go get drinks. I think Elijah's was really, really wanting to get drunk.
Oh, me too. Colitis.
Same, Holitis. All right. With that, we're going to take our last break here. We'll see you guys in 10. Bye-bye.
Echinacea came to consciousness kneeling before Magus Arcanum agents in the smoldering Kaelkirk streets. No memories remained in their skull, except one, their hand ripping the heart out of the Arcanum agent Valor. Echinacea was taken into custody by none other than Valor's husband, the notorious Casimir. After a month in solitary confinement, Casimir's intrusion into Echinacea's mind revealed that the false memory of killing Valor was planted by the Winter Court Fey Queen Coliata. Casimir uncovered a true memory hidden beneath the false one the night Echinacea met their husband, Lorien Belnades Larethian. Despite discovering Echinacea's innocence, the Arcanum refused to release them, keeping them locked in Casimir's tower. Until the day the Oracle of Aldengate revealed that Lorien did battle against Coliata upon the site of a Shadowfell rift over half a century ago. There, Lorien was defeated by the looming shadow, Eadwulf. Eadwulf, an undead corruptor Corberay controlled by the Winter Fey Queen, consumed Lorien and turned him into the Vildraven, a monster sworn to hunt the line of Larethian to extinction. The Oracle mercifully freed Echinacea after the revelation. Upon leaving the warded halls of the Arcanum, Echinacea learned that they are a fate touched of Minri, goddess of magic. With Minri, Echinacea crafted items of power called preludes, which grow based upon the chosen paths of the wearers. With time, Echinacea grew to love the Fated, adopting Lazuli as their sister, advocating on Lucian Whitmore's behalf for restorative justice, befriending fellow Arcanum victim Monroe, and falling head over heels with the runaway Zendrixian prince, Kaelin Vryn. With luck, Echinacea learned that they are bound to a phoenix, allowing the wizard to cast primordial restoration magic. They use this to heal enemies and allies alike, eschewing death hags and the ruinous god Silence locked away in Aosha's core. With rage, Echinacea learned vital information. Coliata's mind is not her own. She is a victim, controlled by the cursed sword Rhyme, created by the deceptive god Kervaith. Braving the lands of eternal winter in northern Shenthyr, Echinacea finally faced the Vildraven. In the midst of their battle, Echinacea offered Eadwulf a new pact. Join Echinacea and bring Kervaith to justice for all the suffering the god has caused. Eadwulf accepted, leaving Lorien free to recuperate, offering Kaelin the Vildraven's mythic blade, the Song of Arvindor, and taking up residence in Echinacea's mind. Together, the two have braved many perils, closing a Shadowfell rift with the aid of Lucian Whitmore, recovering 50 years of memory with the help of another Corberay, meeting their brother, Dorlin, dying by Lord Harvish's hand, being brought back to life by Lazuli. With their life reclaimed, Echinacea got to work, reforging the Song of Arvindor into Kaelin's Oathblade Truthseeker, facing their deepest fears of imprisonment and loss of self in the Sivaholm catacombs, reuniting with their forgotten love and unwitting betrayer Thandor, who remains bound in a pact to serve Kervaith, transforming into a seraph, freeing a goddess bound by the gods Silence, Kervaith, and Ruin's Eye. Echinacea now seeks to reclaim the rest of their memories, to save Coliata from Rhyme's influence, to free Thandoril from his pact, to close the rifts that scar Tolesh, to dismantle the Magus Arcanum, to confront Kervaith, to break the silence.
Whistle, the Hobgoblin fighter, was born and raised among the Iron Legionnaires to be a soldier, a tool for conquest. A veteran of numerous campaigns against the Scorched Isles, Whistle earned the recognition of the draconic captain Isradon of the Alaric, a mighty Titan-class ship. Steadily climbing the ranks of the Alaric's crew and garnering a reputation for efficiency, Whistle was eventually charged to lead a covert mission. He was tasked with leading a team to steal a Divanthier tome from the famous Larwith Academy in Drukamesh. His life changed when on a mission, he was compromised by the only thing his grooming amongst the Legionnaires could never prepare him for. He fell in love. Whistle's budding affections for Nikolai, a Divanthier scholar at the Academy, blossomed into a romance that threatened his entire mission. Everything came to a head when Nikolai attempted to stop Whistle's team as they secured the Divanthier tome. Nikolai was shot by Whistle's ally, Lord Tarvish, and as he died in Whistle's arms, something miraculous happened. Nikolai's soul was imbued into a Divanthier dagger that the two men had bonded over during their brief time together. Since then, Whistle has abandoned his Iron Legionnaire objectives and his team from the Alaric mission, tricking Lord Tarvish into believing he had the Divanthier tome. Whistle sent his crew back to the Alaric. Now isolated from his former crew, he has dedicated himself to discovering a means of restoring Nikolai. After encountering the Fated and witnessing their crusade against the great evils that threaten the world, Whistle has found allies to aid him on the path to redemption and acceptance. It was not long before Whistle learned that he is the subject of a Divanthier prophecy, a leader destined to unite the Ally-born and save his love in the process. Unfortunately, the trick Whistle played on his Legionnaire crewmates only bought him so much time. After a failed attempt to retrieve the book by Viper's Hand mercenaries, Whistle's Alaric crewmates took matters into their own hands and attacked members of his new party. Whistle arrived in time to watch Lord Tarvish kill Echinacea. Falling back on his Legionnaire training, Whistle cleaved the gunman in twain without a word. Navigating the strife caused by using Nikolai to kill, Whistle set about seeking redemption. Having been crafted a prelude by Echinacea, seeking training from the Golden Dragon Helgon the Gildenfire and the Winter Court Knight Uldiel, Whistle found himself taking steps down the path of the Protector. In doing so, Whistle promised Zio that he will take the burden of killing upon himself should the need arise. Whistle's role as a protector found him ensnared in a deal with Isradon to claim a new lair on his captain's behalf. In an act of desperation, Whistle offered Isradon the abandoned keep Sivahome, the meeting place of the forces of the Eclipse of the Three, the vile gods Kervaith, Ruin's Eye, and the Silence known as Vaemir. In the Sivahome catacombs, Whistle the Protector came face to face with Whistle the Legionnaire. Suffering under the weight of his past, Whistle was forced to relive the choices that made him into a killer, until finally coming face to face with a cruel vision of his father. In that moment, the sight of Lazuli under attack broke Whistle free of the past. The Protector persevered, buoyed by the faith of his party and his love for Nikolai. Now, Whistle has abandoned his Iron Legionnaires and thus earned the ire of his former draconic master. Days after retreating from Sivahome, Whistle found himself confronted by the adult Red Dragon and the reconstituted Lord Tarvish. Battle quickly ensued, during which Whistle was felled by Lord Tarvish's hand. In death, Whistle found himself face to face with an endless field of weapons and a godly entity, an icon known as the Maiden of Blades. She affirmed that Whistle is a protector. When Lazuli came to bring Whistle back to life, he accepted. returning to lead his party through a harrowing escape from the dragon Isradon. Thus, Whistle's connection to the Iron Legionnaires was severed. For the first time in his life, Whistle is a free man.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Yeah.
All right, so we're picking up. You guys headed to the bar. Scene's yours.
Can we cut to like being at the bar?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Zio just puts down a bag of, I don't know, 100 gold pieces
Oh,
on the bar top and just says, "Just use it. Whoever like to the bartender, just like whatever anyone gets, just use this."
Oh my goodness.
Understood.
Use you. That's very generous.
Thank you. Yes.
A lot of money. I just want to get rid of it. I'm going to myself go down 1,100 gold pieces just to say that Zio has spent up to 1,000 gold getting groceries for people and things around the city.
Whistle will accept the charity.
Yeah. So
Echinacea is spending the next 10 minutes while everyone's ordering drinks, casting telepathic bond yet again. This time with everyone present.
oh. We're just gonna autistically stare at each other.
I want
Anybody
to be
walking.
so clear, Echinacea is incredibly paranoid about the Mage's Arcanum right now.
Oh shit, real.
And I think that paranoia is pretty evident as they're like putting out this incense, like very clearly, like setting up a little spell in the middle of a table.
Mhm.
Yeah. And while that is happening, Zio will, because they didn't get to use their sending how they were going to, they will send a sending out to Helitis and be like, "We are back and we are at the Red Feather. I've already paid for drinks. Come and get them."
I will be there shortly. On my way.
Whistle's gonna pass Echinacea a pint and say,
Urine, rest assured, we've all got your back.
I trust all of you to be there for me. I know you will be when the time comes. I'm just, audible things are audible, so I'm gonna fix that. For just a second. And then they'll wait until Monroe and Reeves and Helitis and whoever else is coming is there.
What is?
I
what
feel
is
so bad for
bringing-
them.
Yeah, what is bringing this on?
And the spell takes. And in your mind, Echinacea says, well, we talked to Tifna, and we learned a little more about the Magus Arcanum, who are using the same tools as the Sunwell Academy to control their oracles that they used on Ileana and Lucian and Nivian. And I just am not... They are so big. And I am so small. And I know that that's okay and we're allowed to be small. We just learned this and it's all okay.
But we also learned that it's okay to be afraid, so.
Which is good.
Mm-hmm. I was very afraid of all of this and I didn't want to do it alone. That's why I called you. So, we'll be there all together to help whenever any of this goes down.
I believe you. Thank you. They'll say that aloud. So this is a very weird, stilted conversation where, like, the things that anything they say about the Magus Arcanum, they're doing in their head, and then everything else is out loud.
Okay. Yeah, that's gotta get confusing.
I say, we focus on the things that we know. That's the most productive place to put our energy. Tifna mentioned a couple of handlers. Do we know when they were scheduled to meet next? We know where, Alden Gate.
We don't know when, but yes, it sounds like Tifna is sent to Alden Gate whenever they wish to hear her visions. I know that Sigrun Larethian, who is now the purported head of the Magus Arcanum of Alden Gate, is scheduled to arrive here. He's a distant relative of Lorian's. He is a very nice man who was the headmaster of the academy at Alden Gate, and with Zarini's departure, has now become the head of the Magus Arcanum, and I don't really know what that entails, but it's very confusing, because I thought he was trustworthy, and now I feel like I might have been wrong. And, yes, but he's scheduled to arrive here, although I don't know when. Primrose said that he was scheduled to come here. And, but yes, we know about the handlers, and again, Magus Arcanum info, this is all in everybody's heads.
All in heads.
There's a fire genasi who goes by Ignition. I have to believe that is a chosen moniker.
That's really on the nose.
It's so on the nose.
It's like if I decided to call myself Wave.
Yes.
Well, speaking as
It kind of looks to you, Echinacea.
people with objects for names.
Haha.
It's fair enough. My mother's also just had flower names, so I think that they kind of stuck with a theme. So maybe there's like ignition, power, and exhaust or something like that. And it's all within the family. But,
They have a sibling named Exhaust. That's funny.
Offers a cheers. Whistle's getting into the cups now.
Echinacea will take the giggles and spirits where they can get them. They cheers back, and they are also getting into their cups. There's an elf named Nisil?
Seal. Seal don't have knees, though. Just like 615%.
Neil sees. Wait, no, that doesn't
See
sound
Niels.
right. Oh,
Seal
Zio's also getting to
Seal?
the cups.
Zio and Whistle looking back at each other.
Knee seal.
Knee seals. Knee seals.
We also know, we know about the Major Arcana now. Thanks to Casimir. This is in our noggins. There's the Omen, who is a Shadarkai by the name of Zufan, who is a warlock. I don't know of whom. Then there is the Shaper, a human wizard named Egan Harold. The Weaver, who is an elf named Larethian, also a distant relative of Lorien, and therefore Kervaith. Fuckers. And then there is the Crown, who is a Dwergar named Grilmir Warward, and then there is the dragon Zarini, who apparently Tifna had a vision of leaving the Major Arcana, although we do not know what for. It's very confusing that she left the Major Arcana, as she is the person who imprisoned me, so it seems that as soon as she let me go, not of her choice, she decided to fucking book it. I don't know where she's going, but I don't trust it. I don't like it at all. She definitely wanted Casimir to torture me, so I don't think her leaving the Major Arcana means that she is on Team Us. I think it means that she might not like sharing power or something. I don't know.
Like that.
Yeah.
I imagine Sigan would be keeping an eye, or keeping tabs on wherever Zarini is.
Maybe.
Something we can ask when they arrive.
I feel lightheaded and ill-equipped to deal with the shadow government trying to take over the world. That was another thing, Zio. Another vision. They want to sink their teeth into every continent, every place. Right now they're working on Shinthir via Driftin. They seem to have Driftin, and have Driftin tricked into thinking that they're not there, which is so like them. And then
Monroe shoots an entire glass of whiskey. It's a double.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we know of... I hate to make this about me. Do we know anything about them trying to move into the Scorched Isles?
nothing concrete, but I'd wager they're trying. The closest thing I can think of is that, given that the Omen is a Shadar Kai, and there might be a rift in that volcano, maybe, but I don't.
Yeah. Also,
I think it's pretty. I want to, above table. I want to make it pretty clear that any sort of mention of Tolesh, it's going to be pretty clear that the Scorched Isle is involved with that.
okay.
As it is in Tolesh. It is a part of Tolesh. So I think any sort of mention of like the Arcanum trying to exert control or power, the Scorched Isle is 100% included in that.
Got it. Yeah. You know, it's also really concerning when Whistle told us about Cyberhome and Drukamesh providing, the Legionnaires with power, potential of what they're doing. I'm just curious how the Arcanum might be influencing that as well.
Entirely possible. None of the names on that list match with any of the major arcana, but there are plenty of people involved with the major arcanum who are not major arcana. Magus Arcanum. I'm drunk already.
Is Helitis here already?
Is Helitis drunk already?
No.
Okay.
But Helitis, Reeves, and Monroe are present.
Yeah. I think also when Helitis came in, a part of Zio kept looking out towards the door.
Yeah, Sandra did not come along.
Mm-hmm. And then just Zio would have sat between like Echinacea and Helitis.
Mm-hmm.
And then is slowly pushing drinks over to Helitis, but also like interjecting it with water as well. So just like pouring and then also just like sliding in a water in there.
There are also the other oracles. Could be worth, if we wanted to, or when we're ready, the best of the Arcanum at all.
Yes, there are two we know of. Yars in Isle-a-Deal, and
Yar.
then Namida. Yar.
Yar.
And then Namida. Echinacea tries to think about a joke to make with that name for a minute, and they can't. In Ontalos. Which they are both ancient here. I believe both north of the Wavern Peaks. I'm drunk.
Wyverns, I mean, that's a...
Yes. So they're both south of Illenbell, but in the Wavern Peaks.
Mm-hmm.
An Alden Gate right in the middle. I wonder if they're also being handled by Ignition and Eseal.
Without a doubt. There is also an oracle at Aldengate named Lisette Fellentrap. She is the one who gave me the writ of opposition that allowed me to be not locked in a tower. Thank you, Lisette.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisette.
Thank you, Lisa.
All the boys say thank you, Lisette.
Thank you, Lisa. Cheers to Lisa. Clink.
Well, I know we were planning to make a move to Turkimesh soon. But there's still business to be done. We do, right?
I still have some business in town that I want to attend to, but tomorrow Zio and I are going to take a day trip. I can get us in and out within a couple hours. To Illenbell. Whistle, if you wanted to come with.
Alec, how long would it take to, with Anvil, get to either Alden Gate or Ontalos? Probably Ontalos pretty far, I think.
It would take. It took you 8 days to get here, so you're probably looking at something relatively similar for Alden Gate.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it'd probably take another 8 days.
Yeah.
There, 8 days back, depending on weather and travel. So you're looking at another 2 weeks.
Nah, then yeah. Whistle will say. I'm trying to. Whistle's not. He hasn't decided if he's going to come to Illenbell.
Okay.
He's got to think about it.
You absolutely don't have to. While we're looking at this map here, she just spreads out the map in Roll20. Where's Valen?
The W is silent, I believe.
Oh gosh, that's why my notes are confusing. Okay. Oh. If I understand correctly, Alec, Kilkirk is that one?
You are correct.
I don't know if I can go there.
Oh, why not?
Well, because the theft of what was Kervaith's blade, the Song of Arvindor, and the murder of Casimir's husband Valor got pinned on me just north of there. That's the first thing I remember. There's fire. and I was covered in blood, and I still don't know whose or how.
Do you not want to go there because you feel uncomfortable with the idea of going back, or is it also because you're worried about
I got fully framed, so I think people might try, to. It might be bad for me.
okay.
Monroe
Yeah.
kind of. Oh, I could look into it.
Yeah, and there's also that I don't know. Lila never exactly explained what she was doing to help Whistle for us to go back to Larwith, but she said something about trying to help with him not getting noticed. Is that right? Or
It's true.
Make sure I wasn't killed on sight.
yeah, those
I
were
don't like
those were
that
her
at all.
words.
I don't like those
Yeah.
words at all.
There's no real avoiding it, but the other thing we could do is we still have those hats of disguise.
It's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I could just be not me.
You could turn into Adewolf.
You could do that.
Hi,
Echinacea
Adewolf.
has seen.
Hey.
Echinacea Shadow just starts talking, picks up their beer.
Yummy.
Aedwulf. Has Echinacea seen Aedwulf's? They have glimpsed his full features in the mirror, right? Before
Yep.
it turned back into shadow?
The Cassandra encounter too.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Aedwulf, do you want to look like you for a second? Do you want us to look like you?
Fuck it. Yeah, let's do it.
Vroom. I don't think we've gotten an actual description.
Yeah.
Strange.
Show us the hot boy.
Alec,
Strange.
what does Aedwulf look like?
All right, guys. And that is where we're going to wrap tonight's chapter.
No! No!
What a cliffhanger.
What a cliffhanger.
Tell me what my wolf looks like as a person.
So, what you guys see is a Shatterkai mask-presenting individual. The face is very angular and sharp, very high, prominent cheekbones, big dimples in the sides of the cheek. Very messy, kind of slicked back, wavy hair that is gently tucked behind very long, very long elven ears. You get the peaks of tattoos. There's some details that are missing, right? Because we don't have like the full visage, but this is the idea that Aedwulf is kind of piecing together in Echinacea's mind, which is what's crafting this imagery. You see collarbone and damn near belly button, as there is the lowest cut shirt you could possibly imagine, as this twink boy sits in front of you in like blacks, purples, very, very fanciful, like bardic wear. They sit and they maintain their teal eyes.
Oh.
Don't all jump
What
on
do
me
we
at
look
once.
like? What do we look like?
Hot.
Like this.
And it's gonna pull out the shield and just.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, you're very, very handsome.
Yeah, we are.
Wow.
Mhm.
I need more tattoos.
A lot more. Yep.
I know a guy. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh no. We know a lady. It's okay. We know a lady.
True.
And then just takes another drink. Like, okay.
Oh.
Politis reciprocates the water.
Whistle's gonna kind of. I don't know if Whistle knew that Cassandra did tattoos, because Whistle's thinking you're talking about Thandaril.
Yeah.
That's true. We know a man. We know a very handsome man.
Thandro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zio just like pats their side all of a sudden, like where Issandra's tattoo is, just like takes another drink.
Oh.
Epcot.
Epcot.
Can we get another round of what Monroe just shot, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another.
Yes, absolutely. There's full. There are 2 bottles placed on the table. Of course.
Let me just drink away my sorrows and feelings. Yes.
Let's do it.
Monroe sort of perks up with Richter. This is in the mind. With Richter in the Feywild, I was planning on moving back to Drifton and trying to find some of these hideouts. The dark corners are lingering in. Get information. I could start with Valen. If you guys need someone, I'm quick, I'm quiet, and I'm efficient.
Well, the people in Valen are Tifna's family. We want to make sure that they stay safe. If anything, my intention, also this is in the mind.
Yeah.
My intention is to take the time we need to create the safe houses that people who are being victimized by the Magus Arcanum need, and then the means of transporting them there. I want to do that before we take on the Arcanum. I understand that in some cases it has to happen at the same time, right? There are on-site prisons. They look at Monroe, the likes of which we are very familiar with, that will have to be, those people will have to be helped while we are also contending with the Magus Arcanum. But there are people who, like Tifna, are outside of the direct grip of the Magus Arcanum, who can be brought to safety first. And then we don't have to juggle trying to protect them at the same time.
Where do we want those safe houses?
Don't know yet. That's a part of it. I need to be able to hallow those spaces, to cast forbiddance upon them.
In the interim, we could ask Lord Whittemore how he feels about being a target of the Arcanum.
We've discussed it briefly. Given the fact that the Sunwall Academy sent Lucian to attempt a coup, Lucian already knows that he has been used not just by Sunwall but by the Magus Arcanum in an attempt to start this war, and that they're going to continue targeting Iothalor because it is a good foothold in Shenthir from Drifton. However, we have to assume that perhaps, after failing so many times in Iothalor, they might also branch out or try a different tack.
True. The other thing, you're familiar with the means of removing their trackers.
Yes. Yes, I can conduct the magic necessary to do so, but once I do, they will know. That's why I want to find a place to keep them safe. People to keep them safe.
But what I'm saying is, if we remove the tracker before we move them, then we could use the Whittemore Estate without creating a sort of trail back.
If Tifna goes missing from the Whittemore Estate, that might be a big tell. But I take your point. If we do this piecemeal, if we help Tifna and move her elsewhere in such a manner that Lucian's name is clear of it, then perhaps later, if Lucian is comfortable, we can then use the Whittemore Estate at a later date, and no one will expect it. It's hard to say.
Ultimately, I agree that once things get moving, we'll have to act quickly, regardless of however we choose to fight this. Once we begin, it will have to be our focus.
Yes, and there is much to attend to before I think we will be ready to focus on it. We want to go to Larwith. We need to discover how to help Nikolai. We need to... I know, Zio, you want to have the meeting with Tranquil and that.
Yeah.
We'll be doing that, but...
There's time still, so...
Elida sort of sits up. What if they weren't kept safe on the material plane?
Once I remove their marks, they can be taken from the material plane.
Elidas. Is this a drunk thought?
I feel quite sober.
Just
Cheers to
you
your
wait.
thoughts.
Just you wait.
Cheers.
Am I thinking what I think you're thinking?
I can mold the clouds. Akin to
Yeah.
Ishtar.
Oh.
If we are able to, I could house them on the elemental plane of air.
That might be the
Would
safest
that
option.
solve the issue of reach?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they have a way of reaching the elemental plane of air.
Well, they
I
would
imagine
have-
they can plane shift, but I also imagine that's not the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth place
Mhm.
they'd look.
That is what I'm thinking. And, well, frankly, I owe you all a great deal. And I have not tended to this garden in a long time. Kind of looks at the space around him and the people more than anything.
Why do you say that, Elidas?
Oh, because I've been in hiding. I don't say it to be cruel to myself, I say it factually.
Hmm.
It is time to be a gardener again. And I could create a space where people who need be protected from the Mage's Arcanum can be.
Wow. A secret base in the elemental plane of air.
Underneath
sounds
the
amazing.
table. Underneath the table, Echinacea's feet are kicking into Monroe's like this.
Monroe's smiling and just... Listen, I didn't have that in my back pocket.
Elidas, that is a weight off the shoulders.
What is power if you don't use it to help?
Mm.
We are not the Arcanum. Kindness will not be their first line of thinking. So,
Ha.
we can use that to our advantage.
Kill them with kindness.
Monroe's like, kill them.
It's like, oh, that's
He
a
doesn't
drunk
actually.
thought.
He doesn't actually. You know what? He is drunk. He does say it.
That's a drunk thought. Put it away.
I think that's a great idea.
Water.
Water,
I-
Monroe, water.
Here's some bread and some stew.
He's like... Reeves sort of sits forward. How do you all feel about old castles?
From experience, no opinion.
Experience mixed. Some good, some bad.
Dragons seem fond of them.
Oh,
Yes.
dragons love them.
That.
Well,
Yeah, why is that?
I think it's like a power thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're losing the thread
Ceilings
here.
are big enough for their actual form, too. Very important.
It's true.
I think treating Eye of the Lore and the Whittemore Estate as a base of operations is smart. For us, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But if Lord Whittemore was not privy to that idea, I may have a place that's protected.
Oh.
An old, defunct Ebonite keep.
Oh. Well, that's pretty amazing. So we have Monroe doing guerrilla searches for people that would need assistance.
I'd like to call it reconnaissance.
Sure. Helinas providing a place outside of the material plane for those who really need to be hidden, like Tivna, and then a actual location for, I guess, bigger parties, a lot more people, a lot more assistance.
I'm thinking it could be a central hub for us. Could get a teleportation circle sent there for the spaces where we need to go.
It would also keep the heat off of Eye of the Lord. There are a lot of innocent people here.
Yes, and if I understand correctly, if it's a defunct Ebonite keep, that's in Drifton.
Correct.
Oh, Drifton.
So no... If the worst were to happen and we were caught, it would not be Shenthians plotting on Shenthir soil against Drifton. We would be in Drifton. I'm technically a Driftonian. Zio, you're from the Scorched Isle. Whistle, I don't think you're a citizen of Shenthir either, so it would take the heat off of Shenthir.
True.
And the Arcanum could not act nearly as openly as they could here.
Ding, ding, ding.
We just have to make sure Vamir doesn't have hooks still there.
This was a keep from the early days of our order. One that was used before we all died at the same time. So.
What and where is that?
It's north of Sunwall.
Oh, that means...
Norfolk?
It's between Norfolk and Sunwall. It is in a place, he smiles, called Newgard. And yeah, it's that one right there.
Ah. By the water.
Right by the water.
Amazing. That's amazing.
So we have chips on the board in multiple locations. The best thing is to not put our chips all in one place. If we're looking at this as an assault on the Magus Arcanum, I think we have the groundwork for a pretty good plan.
Ooh. We have the beginnings of a plan. Take care of everyone under the Arcanum's thumb, not directly in their grip. Perhaps try to isolate members of the Major Arcana. Or to... That comes later. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just a wee wizard.
Monroe kind of squeezes your arm. We can't extrapolate too much. We have to at least get started.
Get people safe.
Yep. Step one.
Echinacea slumps back in their seat, just like, huh. I didn't ever think this would happen.
More drinks.
More drink.
More drinks are poured.
Cheers.
Everybody cheers to the beginnings of a plan, and we'll kind of we'll not end the session right now, but we'll kind of continue on and wrap up over the course of the night. Casimir arrives eventually. It's just like you were all gone. What happened? You are drunk.
Echinacea takes out
Hey,
more
cousin.
ritual components and it's like, one more time. Drunkenly, it takes them like half an hour.
Yeah, they're like
Another telepathic bond and then relay everything.
unfortunately
Inelegantly.
Yeah. He starts putting it together, asks a lot of questions, but gets there eventually. And then Lucian and Kaelin come in together.
One more time. I'm running out of eggshells. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
More
you need
eggshells,
eggs?
please.
You see people go, why does this table need so many eggshells? It's weird.
What was it?
Understood.
Me.
Makes sense. There you are, love.
Thank you. And then the process.
Yep. They sit and talk, and I will say Lucian does express permission to like work outside of Isle Thalor for whatever you guys would need in whatever capacity you guys think would be necessary or important.
Mm-hmm.
So
That means eventually we're gonna kidnap your oracle. Consensually.
I think about it as liberating, not kidnapping.
Ah.
Kaelin raises a glass. Become ungovernable. In the mind.
Out loud. Echinacea, become ungovernable!
People are like,
Yes.
yeah. They don't fucking get the context, but they.
And it's just
they-
clap. I paid for your drinks.
Oh. Woo!
I imagine them all looking over at Lucy and being like, awkwardly, yeah, become ungovernable.
Yeah, become ungovernable. Lucian's like,
This guy.
oh shit.
Fuck.
Yeah, fuck it, become ungovernable. once Lucian says it, people
Look at
are
this
like,
fucking guy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You're fucking weird.
Once the government says it.
Once the government says become ungovernable. Whistle, you're kind of pinged on the side as Nikolai just says, we should dance.
We shouldn't. I don't mind getting out there, but I don't know if I'd call it dancing.
I would.
It-
It's bad dancing, but I would call it dancing.
You underestimate how drunk I probably am.
No,
Yeah, so-
it's pretty drunk.
Whistle will go dance with his shield.
Whistle's on the dance floor, dancing with
Drunkenly, like, sliding around with his shield.
Helitis tugs you, Zio, and is like, we should dance.
Yeah.
I'm
Then
not-
Zia's just like staring, like wistfully, like.
Oh. Well, all right, come on.
Oh, dance.
Picks you up. It's very visibly not drunk.
Yeah.
Helitis can't get drunk.
Yeah. Of course not.
No!
Now you tell
and then-
us.
and then
Whistle
Zia's
and Clyde
just
is playing
like-
shot for shot.
It's all right. It's all right. Yes. You see Kayla and Lucian smiling and just kind of looking. Kaelin just sort of, I hear there's a date coming up soon.
Yes. Yes, Lord Whittemore is taking me to dinner.
Oh, very excited.
What about you two? Echinacea is not sober.
Kaelin's like, what? Or Lucian's like, what? No date. No date. And Kaelin just says, yet. Lucian blushes into his drink and says, yeah, fuck it, let's go. Drags Kaelin to the dance floor and starts dancing with him. And then,
This is the best.
I'm dreaming. And then Monroe tugs you Echinacea and is like, we gotta get out there.
Drunk dance.
Drunk dance. And you begin to dance. And Monroe is like, We're both pretty drunk, but I wanted to say I didn't think this was possible for such a long
Immediate
time.
drunk crying.
But
Me
here we
neither.
are. But here we are.
Echinacea shakes him for a second before they go back to dancing. I thought... That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. I just didn't think... They look out over Whistle and Zio. Whistle dancing with a shield. Zio dancing with Helitis. Kaylin and Lucian together. These people care about us. Enough to do this.
Because we deserve it. And the
Because they
Arcana.
love us.
Exactly.
Monroe. If anything happens to you, like it did in that place, I will come for you.
You beat me to my point. He starts drunk crying.
Oh.
Thank you for saving me. I knew it then and I know it now. There isn't a world where we don't bring down the Arcanum together. Step by step, brick by brick.
Brick by brick. I've been dreaming about it.
And it's not a dream anymore. It's more real than it's ever been.
The first brick.
We're gonna do it.
Gonna save everyone who is in our shoes.
And we are gonna make them answer for it. Thank you for being my friend.
Thank you for being mine.
The next time we go to a train station, I won't be dead. I promise.
Good, because that was the... I keep seeing in people's beyond places that I'm sure are lovely, but now I'm afraid of the ocean, and now I'm a little afraid of train stations, and I don't...
It's okay to be afraid. But I hope the experiences we have lessen that fear and pave the way for joy.
New memories.
A better and safer world for anybody like us.
And drunkenly, these two are just like murmuring affirmations. They're like sway dancing now. That's
Yep.
it.
Yep. There's a point where Kaylin cuts in with Yuzio and starts doing spins and just, you know, dancing with you. Lucian cuts in with you, Whistle, and just pushes the shield out of the way. Come on, we're dancing.
No. I think Whistle and Lucian are going to start a bar fight if he pushes the shield.
Oh,
Damn,
we're
that's
gonna start a bar fight?
crazy.
All
If
right.
he pushes the shield,
Yeah, he does.
Yep. The second Lucian
the
walks
punch.
up and like pushes the shield, Whistle's just gonna deck him.
Give me an attack roll.
Oh no, Whistle's a fighting drunk.
Oh no!
Whistle's just fighty, period.
It's his whole class.
It's the whole thing.
You can't push his boyfriend.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right? 23.
There's a point
7
where he
plus
doesn't
16.
clock it. He's like,
Yeah.
17, you go, boof! And there's an anime gif where a punch happens and a dude gets crumpled and like sent
Yeah.
across the floor.
Yeah,
That's exactly what
it's
happens to
Gurren
Lucy.
Lagann, one of
Yeah.
my favorite animes.
And that happens to Lucian.
Grit
and,
your teeth.
and one of the
No.
one of the tenders at the bar goes, "Become uncomfortable."
Whistle's gonna help Lucian up and hold up a beer and say,
Become ungovernable.
We're fighting.
Come
We're-
ungovernable.
We're fighting the government. Yeah.
actually, first we're gonna
Oh,
pick
no.
Nikolai.
Become starts chugging alcohol, and as
Zio,
oh yeah, go ahead.
Zio rushes over to Lucy and like, "Are you okay?"
Oh,
Ask. I think ask. Maybe next time.
I didn't recognize that he was in the shield.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's okay. Are you okay?
Yes.
Breathe. Water.
Echinacea pumps into Lucy and then looks up and goes, drink, but it's not alcohol or water. It's a
It's a
potion of
potion.
healing.
Yeah, he just goes, "Oh." Any blood is quelled as he picks up your hand. Echinacea starts dancing with you instead of Whistle. And as the group is drunk, becoming ungovernable, and the beginning of a plan has been formed, that is where we'll call tonight's chapter of Known Realms Tolesh. Nicely done, everybody. Level
Yeah.
up. Kidding.
Level 28.
Level 20. David's like, come on, dude, you can't do this.
Can't do that to me.
Before we head out for the night, and be sure to stay tuned for a raid. Our friends at Total Party Kiss are playing their Tragedy of Theologian campaign, a
Yeah.
Greek-inspired 5e game. Let's go ahead now to our player, starting with Angie.
Hi, everybody. My name is Angie, Agonethetic on the internet, they, them pronouns. You can catch me here every Sunday night and doing some things in the future that have not been announced yet. But other than that, find me online. Agonethetic.com is my website to check out my art and my TTRPG reel. Yay!
Thank you,
That's me.
thank you, Angie. David.
Mhm.
Hey everybody, my name is David. I have been playing
Whistle, the Hobgoblin fighter.
both he, him pronouns. You can catch me here as Whistle. And you can also catch me over at Stealthy Elf Productions as the game master of some Pathfinder 2nd edition games. And that's pretty much it.
We love Stealthy Elf Productions in this house.
Mhm.
And Button.
Hello, I am Button. My pronouns are they, them. I'm Bluebluebutton on social media. I play the Aasimar wizard Echinacea, who got to happy drunk cry, and I think that's neat. When I'm not here, you can find me over on Stealthy Elf Productions in the Unearthed Inheritance campaign, playing Cressida Varan Estuary, who doesn't have time to get happy drunk.
Who doesn't have time
Yet.
to get happy drunk. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. Wonderful job. My name is Alec. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me all places on the internet at Tales Archived. I've been your archivist for the evening, and I am the archivist here for Known Realms Tolesh. When I'm not here, you can find me over at Stealthy Elf Productions playing Finn Reese, the Jotun blood fighter with a literal dragon inside of him, in Heroes of Hysteria Unearthed Inheritance. And yeah, hang on for a raid. We're going to shoot you over to Total Party Kiss, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Goodbye!
Goodbye.